my eyes and lay me to sleep.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fred Kelly Stadium here in the city of Orange, where tonight we present homecoming night for the Canyon Comanches. They take on the Irvine Vaqueros in game number 2 of Iota League action here on a beautiful Thursday night, again in the city of Orange. My name is Nathan Percy. A pleasure to have you alongside us here on YouTube as we are presented by the Orange Unified School District. Again, Canyon taking on Irvine. The Comanches looking to turn things around after a loss last week in their Iota League opener to El Toro by a final of 27-17. Irvine looking to keep things going as they won last week over Santa Ana 42-7. Even more special tonight, of course, we'd like to welcome especially those of you who are Comanche alumni, as this will be the last night that we can say welcome home Comanches. Earlier this afternoon, or probably earlier today, the school voted to change their nickname from Comanche to the Cobra, which will start next year. So an especially special night for Canyon tonight, as this will be the last night that they say welcome home Comanches, and they usher in a new era of the Canyon Cobras next year. We'll enjoy it here tonight. We hope you enjoy it wherever you may be. Should be a good one here this evening as the Comanches take on the Vaqueros. Just a few minutes before kickoff here. Again, Canyon is 2-4 overall this season. The Vaqueros are 5-1. Again, Irvine in a three-way tie for first place in the Iota League at 1-0. And Canyon looking to rebound after an 0-1 start. Again, 27-17 loss against El Toro. And talking with Canyon head coach Phil Hughes before the game, he said, we've yet to really put everything together in a game. We either have one really good offensive first half and a good defensive second half, or vice versa, but we haven't really had everything clicking on all cylinders for all 4 quarters. He's hoping to see that from his team here tonight. He's hoping that homecoming night gives them a little bit extra juice to get out there and get after it here against a very good Irvine Vaqueros team. On the other side, Tom Ricci, the head coach for the Vaqueros, just looking to continue the momentum here tonight. He said he really likes his team's versatility as they operate well both in the run game and the pass game. Defensively, they've been solid all year. Their only loss this year was all the way back on week 1. It was a 7-0 loss against Portola. Aside from that, it's been all Irvine this season. Again, they are 5-1, looking to contend in a very tough Iota League. Troy High School also up there, looking to contend for an Iota League title. El Toro as well. Canyon right now, they think that they hold their fate in their hands in terms of getting an automatic playoff bid as they face off against those top 3 teams in the first 3 weeks of league play. And then they go into the 2 teams, still tough teams in Sonora and Santa Ana, but games that they think that they can win. If they can take one of the 3 in these 3 weeks, they think that they have a shot to earn an automatic bid into the playoffs. Student section running onto the field. Again, homecoming night here for the Comanches. And for all you Canyon alumni, welcome home. Albeit virtually, we're very happy to have you with us here tonight for our entire crew. Happy to bring this one to you wherever you may be. Sun's still barely setting in the distance. You can see that orange glow in the background behind the Comanches in the visiting stands. And that signals that it's just about time for football here on a beautiful Thursday night. Temperature in the mid-70s as we get going here. Canyon about ready to run through the banner and get things going. Irvine has yet to take the field. Their captains are on the field, however. Canyons are waiting on the near sideline as well. We'll get the coin toss underway as well. So once again, Canyon High School getting ready over on the south end zone. It's their captains at the 50-yard line. For tonight include Troy Branham, Jacob Mudrinich, Andres Patino, and Alexander Lunsberg. We're going to step aside here as they sing the national anthem. We'll be right back with more football in just a moment.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. That was the national anthem, beautifully performed by Canyon's own Fawn Rinker.
You just heard a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which again means we're just about ready for the opening coin toss, followed by football here on a Thursday night in the city of Orange. Again, I'm Nathan Percy. For our entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on YouTube. High school football is presented by the Orange Unified School District. And again, you can catch all the action tonight, tomorrow for El Medina, and next week for Villa Park for their homecoming nights on the Orange Unified School District's YouTube page as well. We hope you join us for those. But first, an exciting game between Canyon High School and the Irvine High School Vaqueros. Canyon 2-4 overall this season. They're 0-1 in the Iota League, and offensively, you know what you're going to get with the Comanches. It's going to be an aerial attack. Alexander Lundsberg returns for his senior season. The 6'2", 205-pound quarterback leads this offense, and he will throw the ball quite a bit tonight. On the other side of the football, Canyon says they've improved on defense, according to head coach Phil Hughes. Not quite where they want it to be quite yet, and lately they've been dealing with some crucial and ill-timed penalties on defense that have led to some points being scored by the opposition. He's hoping that the defense will play a little bit more disciplined tonight and will clean up a little bit on that side of the ball as well. On the other side for Irvine, again, Tom Ricci says he likes where his team is at. They've got a 6'2", 210-pound quarterback in Sina Safarzadi, who will lead this team. He leads both in the passing game and on the ground. He can run the football quite a bit as well. Head coach Phil Hughes called Irvine a well-coached, disciplined team, and they found a way to do really good things with Safarzadi at the quarterback position to really make things difficult for opposing defenses. He says if we're going to have success on the defensive side of the ball, we're going to have to find a way to stop that young man. Captains for both teams meeting at midfield here for the opening coin toss. And it looks like Canyon will receive the opening kick and travel from north to south on the football field. The Comanches wearing their all-black uniforms with gold trim, black helmets with the gold spear on each side of the helmet as well. On the other side for the Vaqueros, they're wearing their white uniforms with green numbers and blue trim. Their green helmets with the 3 white stripes from front to back. And again, they will kick off to open up the ball game here today. A well-balanced Irvine Vaqueros team taking on an aerial attack here for Canyon. The secondary for Irvine may be tested here tonight. And again, for those of us who joined last year when Canyon played on homecoming night, Alexander Lundsberg put on a show for the crowd here, albeit some mistakes involved in there as well, but he threw the ball 74 times, completing more than 40 of those passes for 491 yards and 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, also threw 4 picks, and the defense struggled in that game against El Toro, looking for better fortunes here tonight. They'll start with the ball, and we'll see how Lundsberg and the offense get started here in just a moment as we are under the lights here at Fred Kelly Stadium. The second of our 4 homecoming games in the month of October. If you joined us last week, you know that Orange High School defeated Fountain Valley by a final of 52-14. Should be an exciting contest here tonight, as for the Vaqueros, teeing it up at the 40-yard line is their kicker Dylan Wynn. And back deep to receive for the Comanches is Noah McClary and Dylan Prochnow. Looks like McClary is on the left-hand side. And Isaac Shim has actually been inserted on the far side to receive the opening kick here for the Comanches. Here comes the kick from Wynn. And it's a squib kick here, a short one that lands just beyond the 30-yard line. It's picked up there by Rommelfanger, and he will take it just outside the 30-yard line to about the 29. And that's where the Comanches will start here, 1st and 10. Lundsberg leads the offense out. Let's introduce you to that Canyon offensive unit. Andres Patino, Grant Pearson, Gannon Berkson, Hyder Zaradine, and Evan McClary from left to right on the offensive line. Alex Lundsberg, your starting quarterback, Jacob Mudrinich, your starting running back, and your wide receivers will include Kellen Rommelfanger, Noah McClary, Matthew Horton, and Dylan Prochnow. Prochnow will spend some time at the tight end position and will line up wide at other points. Late add for this first play, Aiden Moss coming onto the field here for the Comanches. As Lundsberg, once again, having a good season, 17 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He averages about 360 passing yards per game. And he's got a completion percentage just under 65%. 2,159 yards through the air this season. Rommelfanger has been his favorite target, 780 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns on the year. After this first play, we'll introduce the Vaqueros defensively, as Lundsberg leads his offense to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation here for the senior gunslinger. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. And a whistle before we get going here, as they're going to send Cole Riddell, one of the defensive ends, to the sideline. He'll be replaced with Ryan Sojiko. First and 10, shotgun formation. Lundsberg will run it himself, slips through a tackle, barely back to the the line of scrimmage to the 30. If anything, they give him maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as Lundsberg gets 1 on the play. Lundsberg can run it. That's his 40th carry of the year. Came in with 176 yards. Both of those ranked second. The 176 yards is a team high, 2 yards ahead of Jacob Mudrinich, though Mudrinich has carried the ball 52 times this year. 2nd and 9, a long 9 at that, as Lundsberg has 2 running backs in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Now Prochnow, that's James Monroe in motion from left to right. Good snap back to passes. Lundsberg under pressure, steps up in the pocket, now scrambles out to the right beyond the 30, near the 35-yard line before he's met by white jerseys. And he's out to about the 34-yard line, make it a 3-yard gain and a 3rd down and 6 coming up. Defensively for the Vaqueros, they have a 50 defense, which means 5 on the defensive line. Cole Riddell, Mason Pruse, Nicholas Gattaca, Michael Saldivar, and Cameron Galacioto on the line. Will Walters and Sina Safarzadi, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Dylan Wynn and Chad Russum, your cornerbacks. Smith Spivey and Luke Griggs, your safeties for the Vaqueros tonight. 3rd and 6. Lundsberg back to the line. Make it a 3rd and 7 as the ball's at the 34. Shotgun formation here for the quarterback with the running back to his left. Nearly getting the defensive end to jump, and maybe he did. And the hard count works. They got Riddell on the near end to step into the neutral zone, and that'll give Canyon 5 yards and make it a 3rd down and 1. Make it 3rd down and 2. However, much more manageable. There's a good look at the student section and the crowd on hand here tonight. Full stands on hand here for the Comanches on homecoming night, as they get their first look at the Canyon offense here early on in the ball game. 2 minutes elapsed already in the first quarter, as James Monroe is back in the offensive package for the Comanches. He will stand, actually it looks like Monroe is in there at the quarterback position. And now some early movement on the Comanche side of things. And that'll move them back 5 yards most likely. And back to 3rd and 7 we go.
Mark Harrison, that's his false start against Canyon.
Lots of changes as the offense comes back out here for the Comanches.
3rd down and 6.
McClary, Prochnow, Rommelfanger back out there, and here comes Alex Lunsberg. Older brother is Christian. He is playing at Fullerton College right now. Alex Lunsberg in at least his second full season as the starting quarterback here for the Comanches. Shotgun formation set, 2 receivers on either side. Lunsberg, a quick throw. This is Prochnow. He's got the catch at the 40 before he's met by a few more white jerseys and dragged backwards, but forward progress should get them the first down. And Canyon will keep the drive going. A 7-yard completion on 3rd and 7. And Canyon will keep things moving. Good first pass there for Lunsberg. Prochnow makes the reception. Looked like Russum on the tackle there for the Vaqueros. Another pass here. This time it's McClary with the catch. And he's driven out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Another 8-yard gain on 1st and 10. Will make it a 2nd down and 2. And now the Comanches working quickly here. And before they can get back to the line of scrimmage, it's a timeout called by Irvine, the first of the half. 8:54 remaining, just underway here at Fred Kelly Stadium. Canyon driving near midfield on their opening possession here in this 7th game of the season, and a special one here as well, as it is homecoming night. If you're just joining us, a special night for Canyon, as this will be the last season that they have the Comanche as their mascot. A vote rings in next season as the Canyon Cobras. Canyon announced that on social media earlier with a logo and everything. Canyon opened up, I believe, in the early 1970s, had just over 50 years with the Comanche as their mascot. And for the last time on a homecoming night, they will celebrate as the Canyon Comanches. Lunsberg and the offense back out there after the timeout by Irvine. 2nd down and 2 coming up. Ball at the Canyon 48-yard line. McClary, Rommelfanger, and Horton will split out wide to the right. Nobody to the left. Under center is Lunsberg. Single back formation. And there goes Mudrinich out to the left. Back to pass, a screen pass. Rommelfanger, oh, he's going to throw it himself with the left hand. One-on-one is McClary, and he falls alongside Luke Griggs, the safety. No flag on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. So Canyon tried a trick play there. It was Rommelfanger with the pass, but a little bit too high up in the air, and McClary had to slow down and come back for it, and he was battling with Griggs, and neither could come up with the football. So 3rd down and 2 coming up here for the Comanches, who bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Lunsberg in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers on either side. Prochnow is the tight end on the right-hand side of the line. In motion is McClary. They toss it to McClary on the sweep to the far side, finds a seam, looking to get to the first down marker, not quite there, as he will land just short. Looks like he got 1 yard out of it, and it's going to be 4th and 1 coming up from the 49-yard line. And Canyon looks like it's going to bring out the punting unit here to kick this one away. I believe technically that was a pass to McClary, as it did go forward, albeit much less than a yard, into McClary's waiting arms. And for the Comanches now, it'll be Gabriel Gleason on to punt it away. Back deep to receive for the Vaqueros will be Kyle Fogarty, set up at his own 20-yard line. So the Comanches on their first drive get about 20 yards, if maybe anything a little bit less. And here's the boot from Gleason. End-over-end kick, a little short, but it should get fairly deep into Irvine territory. It's down at about the 26-yard line. And that's where the Vaqueros will take over. 1st and 10. Irvine will take the ball for the first time tonight near the midway point of the first quarter. 7:43 left in the opening frame. No score between Canyon and Irvine in this Iota League matchup. You're watching high school football and Canyon's homecoming night on the Orange Unified School District YouTube page. Happy to have you with us here on a beautiful Thursday night. Again, the temperature a comfortable 70 degrees. And it will cool off just a little bit more as the evening goes along. Safarzadeh in the shotgun formation. He's going to go out to his right, find a receiver. A flag does come in. The pass is caught at about the 39-yard line, and that will be Smith Spivey on the catch. But will it count here? Flag is resting at the 25-yard line, which would be an indication. Looks like it's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield, I believe. Ineligible player downfield. There we go. It's going to back it up. And we'll replay first down. So no throw there for Safarzadeh. Let's introduce the Irvine offense here while we have a moment. It is Sina Safarzadeh at quarterback. Seamus Hoffman, Jaden Hayo will split time at running back tonight. Your wide receivers, Enzo Cahoon, Cole Riddell will be the tight end. Smith Spivey and Kyle Fogarty, the other two wide receivers tonight. And from left to right on the line, you have Sashimo, Blanco, Brannon, Hasagawa, and Melville. Again, Kota Sashimo, Kevin Blanco, Donovan Brannon, Nicholas Hasagawa, and Melville on the offensive line tonight. Shotgun formation, Safarzadeh back to pass, looking deep, looking up the middle. He's got a receiver who had a beat on Gleason. That was Enzo Cahoon, the intended target, but it falls incomplete as Safarzadeh overthrew him just a little bit, and that'll bring up a second down at about 15 from the 22-yard line. Enzo Cahoon has been Safarzadeh's favorite target, and again, this offense goes as Safarzadeh goes. He's completed 62% of his throws for 857 yards and 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, but he's also run the ball quite well as well. Safarzadeh 72 carries for 410 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns on the year. A linebacker playing quarterback is how Phil Hughes, the Canyon head coach, described him. He'll take it this time, finding a seam up the left-hand side, slips through a tackle, and gets through a couple more as he passes the 30 up to the 35. And that'll be a gain of about 13 yards on second down and 15. And that'll bring up a third down and 2. Well, you can see just from the run there that Safarzadeh is going to be a hard customer to bring down. And again, he checks in at 6'2". Well, this says 185 pounds for Safarzadeh. Also does play linebacker. He's under center here in the I formation. They hand it off to Hoffman up the middle, north-south running there, and he gets just beyond the line, the first down marker for a 2-yard gain. Up to about the 37-yard line, bring up a 1st and 10. Canyon's defense, by the way, a 4-2-5 defense, 4 on the line, 2 linebackers and 5 in the secondary. It's Troy Branham, John Lee Denham, Iggy Elizondo, and Noah Green on the line. Landon Wade and James Monroe, your linebackers, with Dylan Howard and Gabriel Gleason kind of playing a hybrid linebacker safety role. And in a moment, we'll introduce the final 3. Here's a handoff that's Fogarty, the wide receiver, trying to find room on the near side and gets up to about the 40-yard line, make it the 41, a 3-yard gain on first down. And it'll be second down and 7 coming up. Tackled by Landon Wade and Dylan Howard. Last 3 in the secondary for Canyon tonight in the starting rotation, Matthew Bocanegra and Hunter Lake, your cornerbacks, and Ski Hitchens, who you saw wearing number 20 a little bit ago. He will be the free safety here tonight. 2nd and 7, shotgun formation for Safarzadeh. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. His favorite target, Cahoon's on the right-hand side, but this one goes left. And it's caught there at about the 45-yard line, fighting for more yards up to about the 47. Number 6 is pass from Sina Safarzadeh. And near the first down marker there is Gavin Furr. 7-yard gain. That will be enough for a first down as they put it at the 48-yard line. Safarzadeh has his first completion of the night as it goes for 7. Ski Hitchens, the free safety on the stop. As Irvine has the ball near midfield. Canyon started with the ball in this ball game, got the ball near midfield, didn't quite cross the halfway marker. before having to punt the ball away. Irvine now at their own 48-yard line with a 1st and 10. Shotgun formation, a receiver to the left and 3 to the right. And Safrazadi will hand it off to Hoffman. Hoffman finds a seam up the left-hand side, gets to the second level, and is down at about the 43-yard line, a 9-yard gain on 1st down. And Hoffman so far has 2 rushes for 11 yards.
9-yard gain, it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Good job of blocking on the left side of the line there by Kota Sashimo, Kevin Blanco, and Donovan Brandon, opening up that hole for Seamus Hoffman. See where Hoffman's at numbers-wise. He and Safrazadi were pretty close in terms of their rushing yards this season. Safrazadi leads the offense back to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation set once again. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Clean snap, Safrazadi back to pass. Looking up the middle, now looking to the right-hand side. He's got a man deep at Spivey, and just out of his reach. As Spivey tried to get to that ball, could not quite reach it. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 1. As you saw there, Spivey had a beat on the defender. But again, Safrazadi just a little bit too deep there, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Going back to Seamus Hoffman, we talked about his rushing 76 carries for 306 yards and 5 touchdowns for Hoffman this season, who checks in at 5'6", 175 pounds in his junior year. 3rd and 1. Safrazadi going to try the quarterback sneak. He's going to get well more than 1 yard here as the pile pushes the Comanches back beyond the 40-yard line to about the 36. And that will bring up a 1st and 10. They needed 1. They got about 6, maybe 7 on that run. And the Vaqueros keep the drive going. Again, last week it was Irvine 43, Santa Ana 7. Troy beat Sonora 42-9. El Toro beat Canyon 27-17 to open up Iota League play. In addition to this game tonight, El Toro is at Sonora tonight. Santa Ana will take on Troy in Fullerton tomorrow. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Shotgun formation, the handoff to Hoffman. Stutter steps at the line and gets maybe a yard before he's met by a couple of linebackers there. It looked like on the stop, Dylan Howard and Noah Green helped out on the stop. It'll be a 1-yard gain for Hoffman. 2nd down and 9 coming up. So far, Irvine's been pretty content to keep the ball on the ground for most of this opening drive. Safrazadi does have 3 attempts. He has completed 1 of them for 7 yards. That one going to Furr. Shotgun formation, he's back to pass. Quick throw over to Cahoon, it appears. Spins, tries to spin out of a tackle. Great job there by the defensive end. That's Troy Branham sticking with it and pulling Cahoon out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
No gain. Maybe even a loss of a yard. Brings us 3rd down and 9. Ball to 35-yard line.
Cahoon so far this season, 21 receptions, 331 yards.
Troy's also your homecoming team.
And of Safrazadi's 10 touchdown throws, he has collected 4 of them. Shotgun formation, Safrazadi back to pass. Throw into the right, has a guy, but slips out of the hands. Looked like that was Cahoon again on the, that was Furr, the intended target. Ski Hitchens on the coverage, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 9. We'll see what Irvine decides to do here. Ball is at the 35-yard line. You would think that if they go for a field goal, it'd be a near 50-yard try. And the Vaqueros look like they're going to bring the offense back out. Safrazadi along with 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Cahoon is all alone on the left-hand side. Spivey, Furr, and Fogarty on the right. That's where Safrazadi's going. Looking for a receiver. Overthrew his target. That was Spivey along the near sideline. Coverage there for the Comanches by Bocanegra, and that'll be a turnover on downs as Safrazadi can't connect with Spivey there, and Canyon will take over 1st down and 10 from about the 35-yard line for its 2nd drive of the night. Still no score, 2:18 remaining here in the opening quarter. Both teams with a defensive stop so far here tonight. There's Troy Branham. and a couple of his defensive teammates, including Monroe and Bocanegra, the guy on the coverage on that last play, getting a breather there as the offense takes over. Here's Lundsberg in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Back to pass, looking left, looking deep. McClary, the intended target. Oh, just slips out of his hands there as he fell to the turf. Coverage by Irvine's Chad Russum. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. That was the first misfire of the night for Lundsberg. A good throw there from the senior quarterback. But McClary couldn't come down with it as he was falling forward. And Lundsberg will try it again. There's another look at some of the defensive players for the Comanches again after that first possession stop. There's Phil Hughes, the 4th-year quarterback here for the Comanches, giving a talk with his defensive players as well. Again for Hughes, saying his defense has improved quite a bit from last year to this year, especially the run defense as Lundsberg. Out to pass, under pressure, goes back to his right, and nobody there to catch that ball as it flies over a couple of linemen and incomplete. And the play will be 3rd down and 10. Ball still at the 35-yard line.
It'll be 3rd and 10. Ball still at the 35-yard line. Been there in the last 5 plays.
And again, that's Bocanegra right there, taking in some film with his secondary coach. It's Lundsberg back out to the huddle here for the next play. First 2 passes have fallen incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Mudrinich to Lundsberg's right-hand side of the backfield. 2 receivers on either side. As Lundsberg clean snap back to pass once again. Throwing left, and this one a little bit too far for Rommelfanger as it falls incomplete. Coverage there by the combination of Dylan Wynn and Drew Bautista, and that'll bring up a 4th and 10 as Gleason will come on to punt this one away. So a couple of drives for the Comanches have stalled before the 50-yard line. This one, unfortunately, a 3 and out, as Irvine will get the ball back with less than 2 minutes remaining here in this first quarter.
Number 12, Gabriel Gleason is into front for Canyon. Back to receive for Irvine, number 18, Enzo Cahoon.
Gleason at the 22-yard line. And back deep to receive is Enzo Cahoon. He is set up at the 35. High snap, but Gleason handles. This one a line drive kick. Cahoon calls for fair catch, and he will make the catch at the 33-yard line. And that's where the Vaqueros will take over 1st and 10.
Ball spotted at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Irvine.
So 3 and out there for the Comanches. The first Irvine drive stalled at about the 40-yard line. Make it the 35-yard line on a turnover on downs. And we'll see what Irvine does here on its second possession with 1:52 remaining here in the first quarter. No score between these two. Homecoming night for the Comanches as we welcome you once again into Fred Kelly Stadium. For all of us here with the Orange Unified School District, a big thank you for making us a part of your Thursday night and spending some time with us. And for all you Comanche alum, a warm welcome home once again. As Safrazadi takes over for the Vaqueros, 1st and 10. He will take it himself up the middle, bulls over a defender before falling forward to about the 45-yard line. And that'll be a 1st down for Irvine, a 12-yard gain for Safrazadi.
12-yard gain.
And unfortunately there for Canyon, it was Dylan Howard who couldn't come up with a stop, but may have tripped him up enough to make him fall forward. Landon Wade credited with the tackle there, as it's now 1st and 10 at the Comanche 45-yard line. Tom Ricci, the head coach here for Irvine, relaying the next play as the Canyon faithful watch on from the stands. Again, very comfortable night for football here in the city of Orange. Single back formation set. Now they'll go back into the shotgun, Will Safrazadi, with Seamus Hoffman to his right-hand side. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And back to pass, Safrazadi after he fakes the handoff to Hoffman. Looking deep once again, Spivey. This time he's got it. Spivey slips through the tackle, and he's in for the touchdown. 55 yards through the air as Safrazadi and Spivey finally connect on their 4th attempt. here in this first quarter. Spivey finishes it off by getting into the end zone for 6, and the Vaqueros strike first here in this Iota League matchup here at Fred Kelly Stadium. On for the extra point for Irvine will be Dylan Wynn. Wynn right now is actually right at the football. He is holding the football and will give it to Safrazadi. Safrazadi is going to try to run it in himself. Now a jump pass, and he completes it into the end zone to Cameron Galacioto. And that will count as a 2-point conversion. So that makes the score 8-0 as Irvine decides to go for 2, and they connect. And they pounce here with less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Canyon will have to answer back in just a moment. Still plenty of time in this one as the Comanches trail by 8. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District. You're watching it on the OUSD YouTube page. Again, Safrazadi at least twice had tried to connect with Smith Spivey deep down the field, but had overthrown him a couple of times before connecting on that touchdown pass. A brilliant 55-yard seam up the middle. Safrazadi has his 11th touchdown pass of the year for Smith Spivey. That will be his first touchdown reception of the season. Wynn has it teed up at the 40-yard line, back deep to receive for the Comanches. Once again, will be Noah McClary to the left and Isaac Shim to the right. Another pooch kick here. This one will be caught by Rommelfanger at the 30. Tries the right side now, slips it back up the middle, still on his feet at the 43, and will fall forward to the 44-yard line. A pretty good return there of about 15 yards for Kellen Rommelfanger. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
44-yard line will be 1st and 10 for your Comanche.
Comanches back to the field. That passing attack hasn't quite hit just yet. Lundsberg is 3 for 6 through the air for 16 yards and is yet to hit his favorite target, Rommelfanger, tonight. He does have 2 receptions to Noah 2 completions to Noah McClary and 1 to his tight end, Dylan Prochnow. Rommelfanger and McClary split wide to the right. I formation set. Looks like Mudrinich is the deep setback. Lundsberg under center. In motion is McClary. They fake the give to McClary. They give it to Mudrinich. Mudrinich tries the left tackle and finds a seam to the 50-yard line. Beyond it to the 48, but there is a penalty flag on the play, and this one might be coming back, and it will be. So that'll negate a 7-yard run, make it an 8-yard run by Mudrinich. It'll be a holding call, and the Comanches will be coming back. Again, the defense going over some film here as they get a little bit of a breather here, and the offense tries to bounce back from this 8-point deficit late in the first quarter. Ball is spotted at the 34-yard line. It'll bring up a 1st and 20 here for the Comanches.
Ball spotted at the 34-yard line.
As the 6'2" senior quarterback Alex Lundsberg heads back out to the field. Shotgun formation set. Landon Wade is into the ball game. He is at a tight end position on the far side of the line. 2 receivers split wide to the left. Lundsberg, clean snap, quick throw over to McClary to the near side. McClary gets past 1 tackler, can't get past the 2nd as he's brought down there by Cameron Galacioto. And that gets it up to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 will bring up a 2nd down and 14 here for the Comanches. For McClary, his 3rd reception of the night for 15 yards total.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that'll do it for the first quarter here in Orange. 8-0 Irvine. The Comanches have the ball. They're nearing midfield. And the teams will switch sides as we head into the second quarter. Irvine with the lead, looking to improve to 2-0 in the Iota League and 6-1 overall. The Comanches looking to win 1 of these first 3 league games this week in hopes of having a good shot at finishing 3-2 in the Iota League this season. Again, they start with what is arguably the 3 toughest opponents they'll face in the league this season. And then the 2 teams towards the bottom will play the Comanches over the last 2 weeks. The standings look like this. Irvine, Troy, and El Toro are all 1-0 in league. Irvine and Troy are 5-1 overall this season. El Toro's 3-3. Santa Ana is 0-1. Canyon and Sonora also 0-1 in Iota League play. It's Santa Ana at 3-3 overall. Canyon's at 2-4, and Sonora is 0-6 this season. Comanches have scored 181 points this season, but they've also allowed 185. As Lundsberg gets set to go here on 2nd and 14. Back to pass, a quick throw. It's Rommelfanger. He's got it at the 45. Slips through one tackle beyond midfield and is taken out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Tackle by Sina Safrazadi, the quarterback slash linebacker. But another good gain on 2nd down. Takes the ball from the 40-yard line up to the 48 of the Vaqueros. First time that Canyon has been in opposing territory tonight. That'll be a 12-yard gain through the air. More importantly, Rommelfanger's first reception of the night. They had him going across the field and get a nice job of stopping in his tracks to elude one tackler, but Safrazadi able to take him out of bounds at the 48. 3rd and 2 as Canyon tries to bounce back from a 1st and 20. Shotgun formation for Lundsberg, 2 receivers on either side. Mudrinich to his right in the backfield. Slow snap, but Lundsberg has it, gets through one would-be tackler and finds Rommelfanger once again beyond the 45, up to the 44. That'll be a gain of about 4 yards. More importantly, that's a first down for the Comanches as they keep the drive going. A great job there by Lundsberg of seeing that pressure and slipping through that would-be tackler and having the presence of mind to quickly get it to Rommelfanger, who was at the first down marker when he made the catch. Canyon offense starting to click a little bit here, and it's 3rd drive of the game. I formation set here for the Comanches. 2 receivers to the right. Mudrinich, the deep setback. McClary in motion. They hand it to Mudrinich, who slips through the first tackler and gets a couple of yards. Late flag comes in. The tackle made by the combination of Will Walters and Cole Riddell. We'll see what that flag is here. That's going to be a face mask, and I believe that's going to go against Irvine. And that should be enough for a first down. That's a 4-yard gain, pardon me, a 3-yard gain for Mudrinich, and they'll get some extra yards after the play as well. 15 yards on the face mask as well, puts the ball up to the 26-yard line. And the Comanches will reset once again. This drive started about the 40-yard line after a decent return on a pooch kick by Rommelfanger. He's got 2 catches on the drive as well, and he's split wide to the right. I formation set here for the Comanches with Lundsberg under center. Mudrinich, the deep setback, 2 receivers to the right-hand side. And a fullback in there as well as Landon Wade. Plenty of room for Mudrinich there to the left, and the pursuit catches him at about the 21-yard line. 5-yard gain as Luke Griggs helped on the tackle. But still a good gain on first down for the Comanches, who keep it on the ground. And it'll be 2nd down and a short 5 coming up. You see Lundsberg heading back out to the huddle there at about the 30-yard line. He'll be under center once again. It appears Dylan Prochnow will be in at tight end on the left side of the line. McClary again in motion. And another handoff to Mudrinich. Up the left side, off tackle, he's got some room. Still on his feet beyond the 10. And he's down at about the 8-yard line, make it the 7. And that'll be a gain of about 14 yards for Jacob Mudrinich. And a nice job on the line by Patino, Pearson, and Bergson, who opened up some gaps on the left side. It's Mudrinich who checks in. It looks like he checks in at about 5'8". Has the ability to kind of slip through tackles while running through traffic. I formation set once again. 2 receivers to the right. Another handoff to Mudrinich. Up the gut, pushing towards the end zone. Not quite there, as he's down at about the 2-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and goal coming up.
That's number 2, Jacob McDermott. 35-yard gain. Tackled by number
Mudrinich providing some good, tough yards at the end of this drive as Canyon tries to bounce back after allowing the opening touchdown late in the first quarter. It's 8-0 Irvine. Canyon taking its time on this drive, and they have plenty of it. Lundsberg, I formation set. One receiver this time out to the right. It's Rommelfanger. And they will give it to Mudrinich up the gut, and he is in for the touchdown. Jacob Mudrinich, after Canyon gets the ball down to about the 21-yard line, he takes it the remaining 21 yards on 4 carries and gets into the end zone to bring Canyon to within 2 of the lead here early in the second quarter.
8th overall rushing touchdown for Canyon this season.
That was an efficient drive there for the Comanches. They used Lundsberg to set up Mudrinich, and here comes the extra point. It's that's Hartfelder with the kick, and that one is up and good. So Canyon will be content with the 1-point deficit, but they are on the board. They did a good job answering after Irvine scored late in the first quarter with a touchdown on the very next drive. A 2-yard rush by Jacob Mudrinich, and it's now Irvine 8, Canyon 7. It's homecoming night here for the Comanches, and they are in this ball game as Irvine will get the ball back in just a moment. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District on the OUSD YouTube page. You are watching it live here in the city of Orange. For the first time tonight, Canyon will kick it off from the 40-yard line. And it looks like this time it will be Carson Gust, the sophomore kicker, to boot this one away. As back deep to receive for the Vaqueros will be Enzo Cahoon and Kyle Fogarty. It'll be Cahoon to the far side once we get a view of the field, and on the near side it will be Kyle Fogarty. There's Carson Gust, the sophomore, taps the helmet a couple of times, and he is just about ready to kick this one away. And this one will be a ground ball. It bounces off an Irvine receiver, and it's downed at the 35, make it the 34-yard line. Getting on top of it there was Drew Batista. And that'll keep it in Irvine possession as they take over 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. So Irvine, their last drive ended with a 55-yard scoring strike from Sina Safarzadi to Smith Spivey. First touchdown connection for those two this season. And for Safarzadi, he's thrown the ball 7 times, has completed 3 of those passes for 62 yards. Under center to start this drive. They hand it off to Seamus Hoffman. Has a wide open up the middle. Now cuts it out to the left. Back up the middle. Gets through another tackler into Canyon territory beyond the 40-yard line before he's finally brought down by Kaysen Leadholt. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10. It went from the 35 all the way to the Canyon 38-yard line, a 27-yard gain. And one of the biggest, the second biggest play of the night for the Vaqueros tonight. Hoffman now 4 carries for 39 yards unofficially as they bring it back to the line. 2 receivers on either side here, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left with a tight end on the left for Safarzadi, who fakes the give to Hoffman, rolls out to the right and throws, has his man wide open. That's the tight end, and that's Riddell making his way down to the 10-yard line before he is brought down, looks like by Leadholt once again, who's got a couple of tackles on this drive, but a couple of big plays there for Irvine as that one goes from the Canyon 38 all the way down to the Canyon 11. Another 27-yard gain, this time through the air from Safarzadi to Riddell. There's Riddell for his first catch of the night. It's the 4th different receiver that Safarzadi has hit this evening as well, as he's back under center in the I formation. 1 receiver on either side. The handoff goes to Hoffman. Tries the left side of the line. Not much doing there, but does get a yard. As Landon Wade was among the first to get there for the Comanches. Also helping him out was Gabriel Gleason, one of the linebacker/safety combo players on defense. Ball's at the 10-yard line, 2nd down and 9. The Vaqueros can get the ball to the 1-yard line for one more first down before it becomes 1st and goal. By my unofficial count, 8 yards per carry for Hoffman so far tonight as we're nearing the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Smith Spivey will split wide to the left. 2 receivers split wide to the right, including Enzo Cahoon. And it looks like it's going to be Fogarty in motion. Safrazadi will keep it himself, has a seam up the right side, and is in for 6 as Irvine bounces back with another touchdown here. A 10-yard run by quarterback Sina Safrazadi. And that makes it a 14-7 game with the extra point coming up. Well-designed quarterback keep on the right-hand side of the line. That's Hasegawa and Melville, along with Cahoon and Fogarty, providing the blocking there for Irvine. As Safrazadi gets in for what I believe is his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Make it his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. This one, a kick is up and good. And that's Dylan Wynn on the extra point try. And that'll make it a 15-7 ball game. No, take that back. Not sure. We heard whistles there. There's the flag. It's on the near side at the 5-yard line. And it looks like this will be an offside call against Canyon. And Irvine will have the ball now at the 1-yard line. See what the Vaqueros decide to do here, if they've changed their mind and are now going to go for it. So the ball's a little bit closer to the end zone. Should say the goal line. 14-7 the score. Safrazadi with the 10-yard quarterback keeper, giving the Vaqueros a touchdown lead once again. They hand it to Hoffman. Hoffman plunges his way through for the 2-point conversion. And that'll make it a 16-7 game in favor of the Vaqueros as they respond to Canyon's touchdown with their 2nd touchdown of the night. 3 consecutive drives for both of these teams with touchdowns. And Canyon once again will have to try to answer back here, down by 9. 6.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Irvine 16 and Canyon 7. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District on the OUSD YouTube page. You're watching it live once again on a very comfortable Thursday night under the lights here in the city of Orange at Fred Kelly Stadium. Dylan Wynn will soon set it up at the 40-yard line. We've seen a couple of pooch kicks from him so far tonight. See if he does the same here. If not, if he does decide to kick it deep, back deep to receive for the Comanches, are Noah McClary on the far side, and on the near side on the right will be Isaac Shim. There's a look at Dylan Wynn. Wide receiver, cornerback, and kicker in his junior season, 5 feet 10 inches tall. Here's the kick, another short one, headed towards Rommelfanger. Picks it up at the 24-yard line. Has some room up to the 35, and that is where he will be dropped. As Will Walters was in on the stop, as well as Ryan Sojiko. And it'll be 1st and 10 here at the 35-yard line for the Comanches. It's about a 60-yard drive the last time Canyon was on the field, and Alex Lunsberg will lead the offense once again. As this home crowd tries to cheer them on. A lot of balloons there. Hopefully those were by helium tank and not somebody having to use their lungs to blow up all those balloons tonight. Lunsberg awaits as the referees are discussing something here on the near sideline at the 35-yard line. While we have a moment, let's remind you tomorrow we're back here with another homecoming night as El Medina, the Vanguards, celebrate their homecoming night here at Fred Kelly Stadium. They'll play in a Delta League game against the Western High School Pioneers. That game starts at 7 p.m. We'll start the stream live at 6:45 p.m. here at Fred Kelly Stadium. We hope you'll join us for that one. And we hope you'll stay with us for this one here tonight and what is turning out to be a fun back-and-forth affair between the Canyon Comanches and the Irvine Vaqueros. It's a pleasure to bring you the action here tonight as Alex Lunsberg awaits the whistle here from the referees to get going once again.
Guys, just give a big round of applause for lines of Kim Ply, who just took a face mask to the back of the head. Still going.
Lunsberg under center, single back formation, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. This is Mudrinich with the carry. Again, has a lot of room, cuts it back to the right. Now he's got open space to the 35, to the 30, is caught from behind. That's Cameron Galatio coming off the defensive end to catch up to Mudrinich, who has turned this into a big first half for the senior running back. And that puts the ball deep into Irvine territory from the Canyon 35 down to the Irvine 27. And a big gain there by the running back, who will get a play off. Lunsberg in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Quick throw over to the right, that's McClary. Makes the catch just beyond the 20, now gets past it and out of bounds to about the 19-yard line. Make it the 20, they'll say he's out of the 20, that's a 7-yard gain. They'll bring up a 2nd down. 38-yard rush for Mudrinich on that first play of the drive to set up Canyon here with 2nd and 3 at the 20. Mudrinich back in there, single back formation set. Lunsberg under center, 2 receivers to the left. And this one goes to Rommelfanger at the 20. Stutters his way to the 15, and just before he gets to the 10, he is brought down by Riddell. That'll be another first down as it goes from the 20 to the 11, a 9-yard gain through the air. Rommelfanger has his 3rd catch of the night.
First down and 10 at the 12-yard line. We have an injury timeout.
Injury timeout on the field as Canyon's got a player down on the turf. And it looks like maybe grasping at the ankle area. Mudrinich, by the way, unofficially, with that 38-yard rush. It has 6 rushes for 67 yards tonight. It looks like they found something there with him running the ball. The offensive line doing a pretty good job of moving these Vaqueros front 7 around as Phil Hughes, the head coach, goes out to tend to the downed Comanche. 16-7 the score, 5:41 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. And we invite you to stick around for halftime, or we'll step aside. We'll have the homecoming halftime show coming your way as well, where they likely will announce the homecoming queen for 2025. And again, that will start at the end of this first half. Stick around for that as Canyon huddled up near its sideline here. And the player is back up and walking slowly towards the near sideline. That looks like maybe it's Rommelfanger. And if so, that would be a big blow for the Comanches. He is their top receiver this season. And he was getting things going on this drive as well with a catch to get him down into the red zone. He is walking very slowly here with help off to the sideline. We certainly hope it's not a serious injury and that he is okay. Canyon awaiting just a couple more seconds for him to get off to the sideline, and we will get things going once again. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Make it the 12. As now in the ball game for the Comanches is Ski Hitchens, a wide receiver on the left-hand side, along with McClary. Mudrinich, the deep set back, I formation set. It's McClary in motion, and the handoff goes to Mudrinich, who gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. No gain on 1st down. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. They say it's a 1-yard loss there, so 2nd down and 11 coming up. And for the Vaqueros, it was Sina Safrazadi on the tackle, the linebacker. Lundsberg back out. As you see the ball spotted there at the 13-yard line with the Vaquero defense awaiting the Canyon offense. I formation set. Wade the fullback. Mudrinich the deep setback. One receiver to the right is McClary. And the handoff goes to Mudrinich once again. Tries the left side of the line this time. Does get a couple of yards before he's pushed back. And it looks like they're going to spot him at the 11-yard line for a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. As you see Lundsberg there along with Leo Brady near the sideline. Lundsberg, by the way, wears the number 24. It's an odd number for a quarterback to wear. Usually you see him wearing 1 through 19, anywhere between there. I asked head coach Phil Hughes if he knew why Alex Lundsberg wears the number 24, and he said, well, older brother Christian wore the number 12, and Lundsberg, Alex Lundsberg that is, had a goal to be twice as good as his older brother. So there you have it. A quarterback wearing number 24, and he is under center once again with Mudrinich, the deep setback. He will be back to pass to the left-hand side. Nice defense there. It was McClary, the intended target. Trying to see who that was on the defensive side. It looked like Luke Griggs was the man who batted it away in the left corner of the end zone. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 9 from the 11-yard line, as Canyon will have to decide what it wants to do. Lundsberg to this point has thrown the ball 12 times. He has completed 8 of those passes, but for 47 yards, which is a little bit low considering what Lundsberg has been capable of all season long. But there's still plenty of time left in the ball game as they go for it here on 4th and 9. 3 wide receivers split wide to the right. McClary is split closest to the sideline, and it looks like a timeout will be taken here by the Comanches. 3.5 remaining here in the second quarter. 16-7 in favor of Irvine. Canyon trying to answer back for the 2nd time here in this quarter as they are down deep into the red zone, but facing a 4th down and 9 as Lundsberg and company will regroup on the near sideline. Again, don't forget the halftime show coming up after the end of this first half. You won't want to miss it. The homecoming halftime show here for the Comanche student section. And, of course, the announcement of the homecoming queen here in 2025. Plenty of entertainment coming your way after this half of football. We hope you'll join us. You don't want to miss it, as we'll step aside and let the student section have the center stage for about 20 minutes or so. Comanches back out to the field. Kellen Rommelfanger is still on the sideline. And again, the hope is that he's not facing a serious injury issue. Came off the field a few plays ago. Lundsberg and company looking back to the near sideline here as they await. Coming out is Bryson Boer. And he may come in at the running back or fullback position. He will. 2 receivers split wide to the right. It's Horton and McClary. The deep setback is Mudrinich. Under center is Lundsberg. Back to pass. Looking to the corner to McClary. Did he catch it? It looked like he did. And a touchdown for the Comanches. What a catch by Noah McClary. Working one-on-one with the defender. Great coverage, but a better catch by the junior wide receiver. And Canyon does answer with a 11-yard touchdown strike from Alexander Lundsberg to Noah McClary. Extra point attempt here by Hartfelder, who is on for the 2nd time tonight. And the ball be held by Trevor Perry. And a good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 65 yards on the drive for the Comanches. It's capped by an 11-yard touchdown strike from Alex Lundsberg to Noah McClary, who makes a brilliant contested catch in the corner of the end zone. And the Comanches hanging around. It's a 2-point deficit for Canyon as Irvine leads 16-14 with 3.5 minutes remaining here in this first half. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District. You're watching it on the OUSD YouTube page.
Green Tomato Grill, Nando's Ice Cream, Orange Junior Soccer Club, CNL Custom Varsity Jackson.
For McClary, this is 5th catch of the night for 33 yards. And on the year, McClary, it's his 5th touchdown reception, and for Lundsberg, his 18th touchdown throw of the campaign. More importantly, it was a big 4th down play. Pressure situation. You know, pressure makes diamonds, and that was a gem of a throw and a catch from Lundsberg to McClary. Hartfelder has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Back deep to receive for the Vaqueros will be Enzo Cahoon and Kyle Fogarty. There's Hartfelder, the senior kicker. He's faced some injury issues earlier this season, but good enough to get out there for a couple of extra points. And now the kickoff here late in the first half. Happy to see that as he puts boot to ball. This one will be end over end and will fall short, and it'll be picked up by Fogarty. Fogarty will hand it off to Cahoon. Canyon privy to that. Cahoon didn't get much on the return. There's Leholtz again on the tackle. He's had a pretty good night defensively and on special teams for the Comanches. And the Vaqueros will take over 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line. Make it inside the 25. It's down at the 24. See if this defense can come up with a stop. The Comanches did come up with a stop on Irvine's first possession of the ball game, but the Vaqueros have scored on each of their last 2 possessions. And with the 2 two-point conversions, they have the 2-point lead as they take over for their 4th possession of the ball game. Sina Safrazadi in the shotgun formation. Seamus Hoffman, the running back, to his right. Enzo Cahoon in motion is now the slot receiver on the right-hand side. Never mind, they're going to bring him over to the near side. 2 receivers to the left, including Fogarty, and 1 to the right here for the Vaqueros. That's Fogarty in motion, and they'll fake the give to Fogarty. It's Safrazade trying up the middle. He's got space and enough for a first down just beyond the 35-yard line. To the 36, that'll be about a 12-yard gain on the keeper, and Safrazade's above the 50-yard mark in terms of rushing yards so far tonight. Again, Canyon defensively said that Safrazade is going to have to be their focus because he is a dual threat quarterback. And while Safrazade has a couple of big throws through the air, he's been effective at moving the chains with his legs. He has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown tonight. Shotgun formation with 2 receivers on either side. Back to pass, looking deep up the middle, and that one is incomplete. Little surprised there was no yellow flag there for pass interference. The intended target there, I believe, was Fogarty. Take that back, it was James Enderton. It was Gabriel Gleason providing the coverage, but he never looked back for the football. Bounced off of Gleason and fell incomplete. Usually for a ball thrown in the air like that, the defensive back should at least turn around and look for the football, but it didn't appear Gleason did so in that particular play. Canyon will be happy with 2nd and 10, however, as Safrazade is in the shotgun formation. Back to pass once again, and it will throw up the middle. This one a sliding catch, but did it hit the turf first? Looked like Cahoon, the intended target. There is a penalty flag as well. I believe that one fell incomplete. They do call it incomplete. They say it hit the turf first, despite a good effort there by Cahoon. And to add insult to injury, it's going to come back even further for the Vaqueros thanks to a holding call that puts the ball at the 26-yard line. Still 2:38 left in this first half. Still time for the Vaqueros to drive the ball down the field. Canyon hoping for a defensive stop and maybe one more shot with the football before half. Safrazade brings the offense up in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. It's Fogarty who is in motion. Back to pass, Safrazadi. Screen pass, it's Seamus Hoffman. Brilliant open field tackle made by James Monroe, as he stops Hoffman dead in his tracks right at the yard of scrimmage. If anything, maybe a 1-yard gain. That brings up a 3rd down and long coming up here for the Vaqueros. What a play there by Monroe, wrapping his arms around those legs and bringing Hoffman down with ease. And Irvine's got a big 3rd down coming up. Shotgun formation here for Safrazadi. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Back to pass, the senior quarterback. Looks to the right, looks deep, and lofts one up in the air, just out of reach and out of bounds. Gleason on the coverage. It looked like Fogarty was the intended target. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 19, in which Irvine will likely be punting this one away. So a good defensive stand there for Canyon. They're going to have the ball back here with about a minute and a half, maybe a little bit more, to go in this first half, and we'll see where they start this drive. It's Isaac Shim who is back deep to receive the punt. He is set up outside the 40-yard line. And for Irvine, punting this one away for the Vaqueros will be Gavin Furr. Gavin Furr at his 12. Good snap. He catches it and puts boot to ball, end over end. This will be a short kick. Shim thought about it. He's going to get away from it. It takes a little bit of a friendly Irvine roll and sits just inside Canyon territory at the 47-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Comanches with a minute 36 seconds remaining. They'll spot the ball at the 46 as Alex Lunsberg and company have a chance here with limited time, but Canyon's offense, the way they play football offensively, this plays into their strengths a little bit. So they like to throw the ball downfield. Lunsberg hasn't quite hit a deep strike yet tonight. His longest pass has gone for 12 yards, and that went to Kellen Rommelfanger late in the first quarter. I formation set. Mudrinich has had a great first half as well. He's the deep setback. McClary's in motion. The handoff is to Mudrinich. Up the middle. Shimmies to the left. Gets a few more yards and passes the Irvine 45-yard line. And that is good for about 9 yards. Pardon me, Mudrinich. I've been mispronouncing his name there. 2nd and 1 coming up as Mudrinich gets 9 more. He's got 75 rushing yards in this first half. Back to the line of scrimmage go the Comanches. The clock ticking just over a minute as Lunsberg brings him up in the shotgun formation. Mudrinich to his left. He's back to pass. Quick throw. This is Horton, the sophomore wide receiver. Down at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, but enough for a 1st down. As they go no huddle here, do the Comanches. Horton's first catch of the night. And whistles here before the start of this play as Lunsberg was ready to pass it to McClary. And a timeout called by the Vaqueros with 52 seconds remaining here in this first half. 16-14 in favor of Irvine, but Canyon is threatening here. Ball at the Irvine 40-yard line. 52 seconds remaining here in the first half as the Comanches are looking to take their first lead of the ball game and go into half with the lead. Irvine will get the opening kick in the second half, as they deferred after the coin toss before the ball game. Get a good look here at the coaching staff working with these Comanche players in the huddle just outside the near sideline. Ball resting on the near hash mark at the 40-yard line. And Canyon just about ready to head back out there. And Lunsberg will get him to huddle up one more time here before he brings the offense back to the line. For the Comanches, it's Evan McClary at center now, and John Lee Denham is your right tackle. We had a feeling that could be the case tonight as Lundsberg back to pass, throw just before he gets hit, and it's just out of the reach of Noah McClary, who was all alone with 2 men in pursuit on the left side. Lundsberg had to get rid of that one maybe a split second sooner than he wanted to because there was an Irvine lineman coming in hot. And that ball falls incomplete to McClary. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 40, but it stops the clock at 48 seconds. Head coach Phil Hughes before the game said Gannon Berkson had also been dealing with some nagging injury woes, and there was a chance that Evan McClary would have to move from the right tackle position to the center position, which is where he is at now. And if that was the case, John Lee Denham, who also operates on the defensive line, would come in to play right tackle. Big 77 on the far right side of the line is John Lee Denham. Back to pass is Lundsberg. Throw to the left. This time he's got his target. That's Monroe, who's got some room to the 1st down marker, and he's pushed out of bounds. That should stop the clock as he gets up to the 26-yard line. That's a 14-yard gain through the air, and a nice pass there from Lundsberg to Monroe, who every so often operates as a tight end. Monroe will make his first catch of the night. More importantly, he stops the clock at 41 seconds. Shotgun formation set once again here for Lundsberg. A receiver to his left and 2 to the right. Back to pass, looking left now, looking right, looking deep towards Prochnow, but it's a little bit too far ahead as Prochnow was working one-on-one with Chad Russum, the cornerback. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Prochnow looked like he was starting to gain an edge there over Russum, but just not enough time before that ball came down. And Lundsberg and company will try it again with 36 seconds remaining. Lundsberg with Madrinich to his right, his left in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right are Prochnow and Horton. It's McClary to the left. Quick pass to Horton. The sophomore makes the catch at the 20. Gets out of bounds just inside as he's pushed by Smith Spivey. And that'll stop the clock at 32 seconds. It's a gain of about 8. Make it 7 as the ball is spotted at the 21-yard line. So Canyon continuing to push the ball forward, using the clock to their advantage. The receivers very wisely running laterally towards the sideline rather than trying to gain the extra yards. And it's put Canyon in a pretty good position here inside the red zone of the Vaqueros with 32 seconds remaining. Single back formation set. Madrinich, the deep setback. 1 receiver, 2 on the right. 1 to the left is McClary, who makes the catch on the slant pattern. Stays in bounds up the middle, up to the 10. And that'll be an 8-yard gain through the air. We'll see if Canyon takes a timeout here. They will with 28 seconds remaining here in this first half. Lundsberg is approaching the century mark through the air. He's at 92 yards by my unofficial count as McClary collects his 6th reception. And he's got 41 receiving yards on the night to go with a touchdown. Ball's at the 10-yard line. They've got 28 seconds to get the ball 10 yards into the end zone. It'll be 1st and goal after the timeout as Canyon regroups on the near sideline. Comanches showing their resilience tonight. Twice they've gone down by a touchdown. They're still down by 2 because Irvine has gone for a couple of 2-point conversions and have succeeded. But each time Irvine has scored, Canyon has come back with a score of its own. The Comanches got a crucial defensive stop on the Vaqueros' last drive a little bit ago. They got the ball back with about 1:36 remaining near midfield and have driven the ball all the way down to the 10. With 28 seconds left, they are looking for their first lead of the ball game, and they can get it either by field goal or touchdown at the end of this first half. After the timeout, Lundsberg back to the line with the offense. Shotgun formation set. We've got Prochnow on the tight end position on the left side of the line. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Again, watch McClary on the near side of your screen to the right. This time, though, Lundsberg is looking left, and this will be a pass. It's caught by Prochnow, and he is taken out of bounds within the 10-yard line. And it looks like they're going to spot it at about the 6. Believe that'll be a gain of 4 to make it a 2nd and goal. Pardon me, it'll be spotted at the 7, so it'll be a gain of 3 on the play. But again, Prochnow does get out of bounds, 20 seconds remaining. And the clock is stopped. For Prochnow, his 2nd reception of the night. Lundsberg back to the line. Shotgun formation set. McClary to the left. Prochnow and Horton to the right. Madrinich, the deep setback. Madrinich, pardon me, the deep setback. Looking to the right is Lundsberg, and this one tipped, and it falls incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. I believe that was Galacioto who tipped that ball. Only 3 seconds off the clock, however, and Canyon will have a 3rd down and goal coming up. You have to think, well, it'll be a tough decision, I should say, for the Comanches if they can't convert here on 3rd down. They do have Hartfelder, who can kick a field goal and give them a 1-point lead, but at this point, when you're 6 or 7 yards away, do you try for it on 4th? Head coach Phil Hughes hoping he doesn't have to make that decision here. Lundsberg back to pass, looking left, and he's got his man. He's in there for the touchdown. Hughes will not have to make that decision as McClary comes up with his 2nd touchdown reception of the night. And the Comanches take their first lead of the ball game. It's 20-16 with the extra point coming up. McClary is 7th catch. He's got 48 yards on the night. A couple of big touchdown catches as Hartfelder boots it through for the extra point. And it's a 21-16 lead here for the Comanches with 13 seconds remaining in the first half, and a crucial touchdown as well, as Irvine's going to get the ball to start the second half. And Canyon, the offense, coming up with a crucial drive late in this first half. Hartfelder will take it out to kick it off from the 40-yard line, and for the Vaqueros, back deep to receive will be Enzo Cahoon and Kyle Fogarty. Again, it'll be Cahoon on the right and Fogarty on, or pardon me, Cahoon on the right on the far side and Fogarty on the left or towards the near sideline. What a response, what resilience from the Comanches in this first half here tonight. The the defense has come up with a couple of big defensive stops of the Vaqueros so far in this ball game. Hartfelder ready to go.
Number 6 play Hartfelder to kick off.
And here comes the kick. This one a deeper kick for Hartfelder as it takes Fogarty back inside the 10-yard line, but he's got it. He will try the right side toward the sideline, has some room, and is met by Hartfelder, who provides the stop just inside the 35-yard line. And some extra shoving after the play is going to bring in a flag on the far side and a second one as well. And we'll see what happens here. A 3rd flag coming in now. And we'll see what comes of the extracurricular activities here with 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Hartfelder was the one who got the tackle on the far sideline of Kyle Fogarty. And it appeared somebody had to have taken exception to something, as next thing you knew, there was a Comanche getting shoved down to the ground. A little bit more shoving going on as well, and we'll see what the referees, or how the referees shake this one out here in just a moment. Again, they are huddled up talking things through. There's a flag at the 39-yard line. There's a second flag at the 29-yard line. Not sure where that 3rd flag is, but it's over on the Irvine sideline. As Coach Hughes rallying the troops a bit here. While we await for the referees to sort this thing out. What a drive by Canyon. 21-16 is the score. What a half for Jacob Madrinich as well in the offensive line, providing the blocking for him. Madrinich, 75 rushing yards on 8 carries with a touchdown. This Canyon offense, not particularly known for running the football much, but they have found something here with Madrinich slipping through tackles so far here in this first half. And Lundsberg, even though he's still thrown the ball quite a bit, he only has 102 yards through the air, but he does have 2 touchdowns. Both of those going to Noah McClary, who's got 7 receptions for 48 yards. Still awaiting the signal here from the referees. We've got a personal foul call against Irvine and another call against Canyon. 2 calls against Canyon. Unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe, were those 2 calls. One of those will be accepted, while the other 2 calls against both teams are offsetting. So the ball will be moved up 15 yards to the Canyon 49-yard line. And Irvine will have a shot here with 6 seconds remaining. Remember, Sina Sefrazadi did complete a pass, a 55-yard strike to Smith Spivey for a touchdown earlier in the ballgame. So they've got the ability to do so. And Safrazadi will be in the backfield all by himself with 5 receivers, 2 to the right and 3 to the left. This should be the last play of the half as Safrazadi back to pass. Looking up the middle, looking towards the right, makes a deep throw here, and was that caught? If so, it was out of bounds. The pylon is still up, so that shouldn't be a touchdown, but if it does count, at worst, well, it's ruled incomplete anyway, but at worst, it would have been at the 1-yard line. That'll do it for the half. Safrazadi does put a little jolt in there at the end, but the pass falls incomplete as Smith Spivey was ruled out of bounds. Canyon, after being behind for much of the second quarter, ends up getting a touchdown late to go up 21-16, and that's where we stand as Irvine will get the ball to start the second half. Until then, we'll step aside for the Canyon homecoming festivities. We hope you enjoy them as the student section takes the field here at Fred Kelly Stadium. Enjoy the homecoming festivities. We'll be back to start the second half in about 20 minutes. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District. You are watching it live on YouTube.
Thank you to our incredible cheer and song teams for those amazing performances. Homecoming is one of Canyon's most cherished traditions, a night that blends past and present, uniting alumni, students, and families, and celebrating the pride of belonging and community. Each year, we honor the heart of Canyon spirit through our homecoming court, recognizing students who exemplify leadership, kindness, and school pride. At this time, please welcome Ivani Chawla and Audrey Hollis, our student hosts, onto the field as they introduce the members of this year's homecoming court.
Good evening. Good evening. No, it's not. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 2025 Homecoming Halftime Show. I'm Audrey Hollis, your CEO of Publications.
And I'm Ivani Chawla, your Commissioner of Activities. We're so excited to celebrate this year's homecoming, and tonight we'll be announcing your homecoming court, starting with our underclassmen representatives, and then introducing our homecoming queen nominees.
Let's begin with your freshman class homecoming court. Representing the class of 2029, please give it up for David Henneford and Ariel Lanzaloza. Congratulations to our freshman court.
Up next, we have your sophomore class homecoming court. Representing the class of 2028, we have Alexander Bowie and Jordan Fung. Unfortunately, they could not make it tonight, but let's give them a round of applause.
And now, the junior class homecoming court. Representing the class of 2027, let's give it up for Reese Hauk and Kemyul Zhang. Let's give a huge round of applause for our juniors. Okay. Now, everyone, let's get loud for our 2025 to 2026 homecoming king, Troy Branham. Unfortunately, he could not be with us tonight, but let's give him a round of applause.
And now, it's time to meet our homecoming queen nominees from the class of 2026. Our first nominee is Adria Eichhoff. Escorted by her younger sister, Brooklyn, Adria Eichhoff is honored to be have nominated for Homecoming Queen. A driven student, Adria is International Baccalaureate President. She plans to study at a university in California and also hopes to study abroad. Adria is very active in her community as Key Club President, Assistant Chairman, and an Ambassador Captain. She loves volunteering and giving back to the community that has given her so much. Adria is so grateful to her friends and family who have made her high school years so wonderful. She is excited to make the most of her senior year and is looking forward to her next chapter of life in college.
Next up, Efo Ageto. Escorted by her father, Peter Ageto, Efo is deeply honored to be a part of the homecoming court her senior year. She reflects on her time at Canyon as a journey of both challenge and growth, one that has strengthened her intellectually and creatively. She is truly grateful to her friends and family for the constant support and encouragement. After graduation, she hopes to pursue a career in medicine as an anesthesiologist.
Next up, we have Hazel Barajas. Escorted by her father, Aizen Barajas, Hazel is grateful to be a student at Canyon High School and honored to be a part of the homecoming court. She has been a dedicated member of Canyon soccer team for 4 years and is grateful to each and every one of her coaches. Hazel is also actively involved in school leadership, being secretary for both National Honor Society and IB Council. She enjoys being a part of the San Antonio leadership team and being able to get closer to God with the new friendships she's made. Hazel extends her heartfelt thanks to her coaches, family, and friends, and is thankful for God who has led her to be where she is today.
Our fourth nominee, Lillian Namey.
Coming back home to you.
Escorted by her father, Johnny Namey, Lillian feels blessed and honored to have been voted by her fellow peers for Homecoming Queen. Lillian is a hard-working and dedicated student and is always determined to gain her end goals. She is the current commissioner of Balloons and Decor and ASB and is very active in the school community. She loves being involved and thinks it's the best way to live your high school experience to the fullest. Lillian wants to thank God, family, and friends for all the support in her life. Her boyfriend for always believing in her, and most importantly, her sister for being the best role model and best friend a girl could ask for.
And finally, we have Lane Lipscomb.
Sometimes it gets unhealthy.
Lane, escorted by her father, Brian Lipscomb, is a proud Canyon student and an active leader in her school community. Lane is currently the ASB Commissioner of Dances, an IB diploma candidate, and a board member of Canyon National Honor Society, the Surfrider Club, and Connected in Christ. She enjoys creating events that bring students together and celebrate school spirit. Lane would like to thank her teachers, family, and friends for making her high school experience so memorable.
Canyon, are you ready to find out who the homecoming queen is? Can we get a drum roll, please?
Your 2025 homecoming queen is Lily Namey. Congratulations to Troy and Lillian for our 2025 homecoming court.
Let's give a huge round of applause to Lily, your homecoming queen, and to all of our incredible nominees and court members.
Thank you to everyone for showing your school spirit tonight. Enjoy the rest of the game and have an amazing homecoming weekend. Happy homecoming, go Comanches!
Once again, let's give a huge round of applause for our 2025 Homecoming King and Queen. Congratulations to our entire court for representing Canyon with such grace and spirit, and for making the final Comanche Homecoming a night to remember. And thank you to Avani and Audrey for hosting a great event. As we close out our halftime celebration, please welcome to the field the pride of Canyon High School, the Canyon Regiment. Under the direction of Michael Wang and led by drum majors Kieran Lamaster Fairman and Amber Lynn, as the regiment will perform their 2025 field show Spanish Rhapsody, featuring the song Spain by Chick Corea and arranged by Jay Bukuk. The Canyon Regiment.
And welcome back to Fred Kelly Stadium. You just saw the homecoming halftime show for the Canyon Comanches class of 2025. Our congratulations to Lillian Namey, who was chosen and voted as the homecoming queen for 2025 as well, and what is being billed tonight as the final Comanche homecoming. And the reason we say final Comanche homecoming is because in July 2026, Canyon High School will change its mascot from the Comanche to the Cobra. That was announced earlier today on some of the school's social media pages. It was voted on, and the Cobra was selected as the new mascot for 2026 in July 2026. And again, that will be live next year. They will be the Canyon Cobras, due to state law, making that change. Again, voted on by the Canyon community and the Canyon High School community. Cobras was what came of it. And as far as I know, I think they'll be the only high school named the Cobras in Southern California. So they are keeping with the unique mascot at Canyon High School. And they get to keep the Canyon C as well, with Cobras as the mascot as well. So an exciting time here tonight, a celebration of the history of Canyon High School with the Comanche as the mascot. The Comanche has been the mascot here at Canyon High School since 1973 when the school opened, but a look ahead towards new beginnings next year in July 2026 when they make that transition from the Comanche to the Cobra. A little bit more about the Comanche. It was chosen as the school's mascot in 1973. The Comanche are an offshoot of the Mountain Shoshone tribe, and an introduction of horses to the Great Plains allowed populations to settle in new locations. This all, of course, according to the school's website. And again, hence the nickname, or pardon me, hence the mascot Comanche. Again, for 52 years, the mascot of Canyon High School. They will change to the Cobra starting in July of 2026. Doing the Comanche proud, though, is the football team here tonight through the first half. They're up on Irvine 21-16 thanks to a late touchdown drive in which Alex Lunsberg hit Noah McClary for a 11-yard touchdown strike to give Canyon its first and only lead of the ball game to this point. The Irvine Vaqueros will start with the football here in the second half, and Canyon will have to try to come up with another key defensive stop here in order to maintain that lead. It's been a back-and-forth competitive affair for both of these schools since the first two drives of the ball game, both of which were stalled. Since then, they traded touchdowns for a while until Canyon got a key stop late in the first half, got the ball back with 1:36 to go, just outside the 50-yard line, but Alex Lunsberg and Jacob Munrovich led a drive that got them into the end zone once again and got them that 21-16 lead. A workmanlike first half for Alex Lunsberg for the Comanches. He threw the ball 22 times, completing 15 of those passes for 102 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, both of those going to Noah McClary, who has been his favorite target tonight, 7 receptions for 49 yards. But the big surprise and the thing that Canyon is probably happiest about so far from an offensive standpoint is the emergence of running back Jacob Munrovich, who went 8 rushes for 75 yards. Pardon me, that's Jacob Madrinovich. There we go. 8 carries for 75 yards, including a touchdown. He has been a bright spot for the offense as well, and that offensive line doing a great job blocking in front of him. Andres Patino, Grant Pearson, Evan McClary, Hyder Zaradine, and John Lee Denham on that offensive line for the Comanches, as it will be Blake Hartfelder teeing it up at the 40-yard line here. It'll be the defense of the Comanches starting things off here in this second half, as back deep to receive for the Vaqueros are Enzo Cahoon and Kyle Fogarty. They're set up at their own 10-yard line. So far, the kicks have been fairly short for both teams tonight. And here comes Hartfelder, who puts boot to ball. An end-over-end kick. Fogarty will make the catch inside the 20-yard line and will take it back out to the right, up the middle. Now he's met further back from where he made that catch, and he's dropped at about the 14-yard line make it the 13, and that's where the Vaqueros will start their first drive of the second half with 11:53 remaining in the third quarter. Not a bad half for quarterback Sina Safrazadi, who threw the ball 11 times, completed 5 of those passes for 90 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, a 10-yard score to give the Vaqueros a 14-12 lead, or I'm sorry, a 14-7 lead. A couple of two-point conversions made it 16-14 at one point, and then Canyon came back with that touchdown late. Here's Hoffman on a carry to the right side. Not much doing there, but he does spin around and get a yard out of it up to the 15-yard line, and that'll bring up a second down and 9. Hoffman had 5 carries for 40 yards in the first half. Safrazadi had 5 carries for 54 yards in the first half. There is a Vaquero on the ground. Unfortunately, after that play, looks like an offensive lineman. And he will be tended to here as both teams head back to their sidelines. Again, Safrazadi through the air. 5 of 11 for 90 yards. The one touchdown he threw was a 55-yard strike to Smith Spivey. That was the first score of the ball game on Irvine's second drive of the game. And Spivey, unfortunately, has been the favored target for Safrazadi tonight, but has not been able to connect. Safrazadi's been a little bit deep with the throws so far this evening. And the team will try to correct that here in the second half. You see Canyon's defense on the sideline there, talking with head coach Phil Hughes. This defense, again, just looking for stops here in this second half. They got 2 big stops in the first half, one on a turnover on downs in the first quarter, and the second late in the first half that led to the go-ahead score to close out the first half. This unit has improved heading into this season. They do still give up quite a bit of points. Only one time this season have they allowed less than 27 points this season. However, right now they're allowing the offense the opportunity to keep up, and they have a 5-point lead. Defense getting ready to go once again as Safrazadi and the offense head up to the line. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. And this will be a handoff to Hoffman up the middle, and he's got a little bit of room to work with there, but he's pulled back by members of the front 7 for the Comanches. It looked like Ili Elizondo was in to help on the stop, along with Dylan Howard. Got about 3 yards on that carry, and it'll bring up a third down, and a long 6. Elizondo part of that defensive line that includes Noah Green, John Lee Denham, and Troy Branham. Branham had a couple of good stops in the first half. This will be a 3rd down and 6. Safrazadi back to pass, looking to his left, to the near side. This one overthrown for Enzo Cahoon. Gleason and Monroe combined on the coverage there, and that's going to fall incomplete, make it a 4th down and 6. You would have to think the punting unit's going to come out with them being so so deep in their territory. And sure enough, here comes the punting unit. So a good defensive stand there, a 3 and out by the Canyon defense. Safrazadi, again, just not quite in sync with the receivers. A lot of high throws and deep throws from him tonight. And that goes to Canyon's benefit, at least for now. Back deep to punt this one away is Furr. And back deep to receive is Isaac Shim, who sets up at the Irvine 40. This is going to be a fake here and a completed pass to, looks like Cahoon at the 30-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st down for Irvine. Up to the 31-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of about 9. No, I take that back. It'll be a gain of about 11. That ball was thrown by Furr and caught by Cahoon. So the Vaqueros catch the Comanches off guard. You wondered if something like that might be coming when Furr moved up a couple of feet in the punting position. And now the Vaqueros have a fresh set of downs from the 31-yard line. And a handoff coming here to Hoffman, who scampers his way across the middle up to the right sideline now. He's still on his feet in Canyon territory up to the 35 and down inside the 35-yard line. A flag comes in from the back judge at the end of that play. And we'll see what happens here. That ball started at the Irvine 31. It goes all the way to the Canyon 32. That would be a gain of 37 yards if it stands. And the penalty will go against the Comanches, so an extra 15 yards coming up. Couple of big runs by Hoffman tonight. That one going for 37, nearly doubling his rushing yards to 81. He started up the middle, just slipped through the front seven, and then took it out to the far sideline where he had open space before he was finally caught at the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Vaqueros as the ball is spotted at the 17-yard line of the Comanches. Safrazadi in the the I formation with Hoffman, the deep setback, a receiver on either side. And the handoff goes to Hoffman up the gut once again, and he's finding success there as he bowls his way forward to the 5-yard line. And that'll bring up a 1st and goal on another 12-yard gain there by Hoffman. So both of these teams known for their quarterback play coming into the ball game tonight, but so far tonight, the running backs are starting to take center stage. Hoffman to start the 3rd quarter, and Madrinich for most of the first half. Both of them are nearing the century mark as Safrazada brings him up in the shotgun formation. 1st and goal from the 5. Hoffman to his right, and this will be Safrazada on a quarterback keep. Runs into a wall, still trying to push forward, but Canyon's going to drag him back. A 1-yard gain to the 4. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line as Safrazada unsuccessful on that first try. Safrazadi did get his 7th rushing touchdown earlier tonight. And again, this all possible because of that 4th down play in which Gavin Furr, the punter, faked and found Enzo Cahoon for a pass completion of about 11 yards for a 1st down. That was on a 4th and 7 play. Now Safrazadi under center, gives it to Hoffman. Hoffman is swallowed up early on, right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. I believe that's Branham who got in there on the tackle along with James Monroe. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal as Hoffman is stoned at the line of scrimmage. They're going to credit Iggy Elizondo as well with helping on the stop.
3rd and goal to 5.
And Irvine will have to try it again. So far, this Comanche defense right now is in bend, don't break mode, as they are backed up against their own goal line here with Irvine threatening to reclaim the lead. First possession here of the 2nd half. The Vaqueros have gotten a big 4th down conversion on a fake punt and a couple of big runs from Seamus Hoffman. He's in the backfield again. This time it's Safrazadi once again looking for blockers. He's got a seam, but not enough there as he's dropped at the 3. And that's going to be James Monroe again, I believe, on the stop. And it is. It'll bring up a 4th down and goal from the 2. 2-yard gain there from Safrazadi. And we'll see if Irvine decides to go for it. My guess is they will. The other option is to bring Dylan Wynn on for a short field goal. Linemen are still out there about 7 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And here comes the offense. Big 4th down coming up for both of these teams. It's Irvine and Canyon trying to set the tone for this 2nd half. 4th and goal from the 2. Safrazadi under center. Hoffman the deep setback. It's a handoff to Hoffman. Canyon swallows him up. Did they get him short? Yes. James Monroe comes up with the stop, and Hoffman is stopped at the 1-yard line. Canyon will take over 1st and 10 And the Vaqueros unable to come up with points deep in the red zone here in their first possession of the second half. What a stop for Canyon, who now finds itself pinned deep in its own territory at the 1 yard line with Alex Lunsberg and company coming out. Hoffman needed 2 yards, got 1. James Monroe, a couple of big stops on that goal line stand for the Comanches. Here comes Lunsberg to lead the offense. As you can see, they're pretty much right underneath their goalposts in the end zone before they come out for 1st and 10 from the 1 yard line. Madrinich, the deep setback, a receiver to the right. I formation set here for Lunsberg. And you have to be careful. There's Madrinich. He gets some room and does push it a little further away from the goal line, near the 5 yard line. They'll give him the 5. And that'll be 2nd down and 6. But more importantly, Canyon has a little bit more breathing room in front of its own end zone.
2nd and 6, ball at the 5 yard line.
Madrinich had a big first half, 8 rushes for 75 yards and a touchdown. And they may rely on him again here, still pinned pretty deep in their own territory. Lunsberg in the I formation, a receiver to the right. Madrinich, the deep setback. There's a fullback as well. And Lunsberg under center, hands it off to Madrinich. Madrinich starts right, now stutter steps back towards the middle and gets a few more yards out of it, up to the 8 yard line, make it a 3rd down and a manageable 3 as he gets 3 more yards on that carry.
Ball's at the 8 yard line. That was a 3 yard gain.
Both of these running backs a little bit smaller in stature, meaning they can slip through tacklers a little bit easier, especially when they're running up the middle. But give credit to these offensive lines. They're doing a good job for these guys too. I formation set once again. Receiver to the right. Lunsberg under center. Back to pass. Floats one up for McClary, a little bit too far to the outside. And it falls incomplete and out of bounds. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 3. And Canyon is going to have to punt this one away. McClary was covered pretty well on that near sideline. It looked like Smith Spivey was helping on the coverage. Good idea there by Lunsberg to try to put one up and let McClary make a play, but unfortunately just thrown a little bit too far. And we'll see what Canyon decides to do here. If they do decide to punt it away, it'll be Gabriel Gleason on to punt, and it looks like he is out there. Back deep to receive at the Canyon 40 yard line appears to be Enzo Cahoon. Canyon ready to go. High snap but handled by Gleason. He will put boot to ball. Line drive kick. This will be caught by Cahoon, who's hit immediately after he caught it, but held on to the football beyond the 40 yard line, near the 45. And that is where the Vaqueros will take over. Good field position here for Irvine as they get the ball back inside Canyon territory. 1st and 10 for Irvine with 4:39 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Canyon with a 5-point lead here in this Iota League matchup. Irvine came into the contest 1-0, but 5-1 on the season. Canyon came in at 0-1 after last week's loss to El Toro, and 2-4 overall on the year. These two teams did have a common opponent. It was Laguna Hills. Irvine came up with a victory against Laguna Hills in week 3, 28-7. Canyon fell to Laguna Hills in their season opener by a final of 42-28. First pass on this drive by Safrazadi falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 44 yard line coming up.
2nd and 10.
These two teams, by the way, they have met 5 times since 2019, and Irvine has the edge 3-2. They've won the last 2 games in the series as well, including a 57-24 victory last year in the Iota League. This is the 2nd season of the Iota League. As Safrazadi will be under center this time around, single back formation. This will be a running attempt here by Spivey because the ball was thrown backwards. And he gets it up the near sideline to about the Canyon 37-yard line. And that will be a 7-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Ball to 37.
Effectively, that pass a lateral, if you will, to Spivey, who gets credit for a 7-yard rush on that play. Shotgun formation here for Safrazadi with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Hoffman in the backfield to his right, as in motion is Kyle Fogarty. They fake the give to him. It'll be Safrazadi looking for space. He finds it up the left-hand side. 1st down yardage. A flag comes in as Safrazadi bowls his way out of bounds. The flag will be a holding call against Irvine, and that will bring the ball back. We'll replay the 3rd down, and it'll be about a 3rd and 12 as the flag is resting at the 36-yard line. So that should take it back to the 46. They're going to make it the 47 to make it a 3rd and 13.
It's 3rd and 13. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line.
For the Vaqueros, they keep the offensive line on the field while the skill position players go back and get the play from their coaching staff. Tom Ricci, the head coach here for Irvine. This Irvine program has won 4 CIF championships in school history, including a 3-peat back in the 90s under longtime head coach Terry Hannigan. And they're looking to get back into the playoffs again this year. Safrazadi in the shotgun formation. Back to pass, looking right, looking deep up the middle, and that one in and out of the hands there of a diving Smith Spivey. And the 2 of them have tried hooking up all night long. Have only got 1 catch to show for it. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and long here for the Vaqueros. And we'll see what they decide to do here with the ball just beyond midfield in Canyon territory. But yeah, these Vaqueros, I believe it was 91, 92, and 93, the years of those 3 consecutive championships. They won a 4th one in 2000. Again, all of those under Terry Hannigan, who was the longtime head coach for Irvine. They've had a couple of coaches since his retirement. Shotgun formation, and it's going to be a punt there from Safrazadi. Nobody back deep to receive. Irvine's going to try and stop it from going into the end zone and sliding into the end zone. Oh, they say he's down at the 1-yard line. And Canyon, for the 2nd straight possession, is going to start from its own 1. It was a 3 and out on the first possession of the half for Canyon. See what they can come up with here as the offense heads back out. Tom Ricci, by the way, is in his 7th season as Vaqueros head coach and is likely to finish with a winning record in the regular season for the 5th time in those 7 years since taking over the helm. After finishing 1-9 in his first season, Ricci guided the Vaqueros to a 6-1 mark in the spring 2021 season and a 10-1 mark the following year. And he had a 4-6 record in 2022, but bounced back with a couple of winning seasons since then. Here comes the Canyon offense, as Lunsberg will be in the shotgun formation from the 1-yard line. He'll be in his own end zone when he receives this football. Back to pass, a quick slant pattern, and that one is in and out of the hands of Dylan Prochnow, the tight end. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 1. Lunsberg's 24th pass attempt of the night. He's 0 for 2 so far in this 2nd half, though Canyon has had 4 offensive plays so far in this period. By the way, for Irvine, back to Terry Hannigan in that 2000 season, it was a perfect 14-0 run for the Vaqueros that year. And again, that was Hannigan's 4th CIF championship and 4th for Irvine High School as well. Back to pass, Lunsberg, pump fake, now throws over to the right, a little too far for Prochnow, who was hit as it was coming in. He tried to get it with one hand, but Spivey made contact before he could haul it in. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 from the 1-yard line. On the other side for Canyon, they've got one CIF championship back in 2015 to their credit. So 10 years ago, the Comanches won a CIF championship. I believe that game was played here at Fred Kelly Stadium. And that was against my alma mater, the Brea Olinda Wildcats. No hard feelings. That was when Mike Ogas was the head coach here at Canyon High School. Again, Phil Hughes, who is the current head coach now in his 4th season at the helm here for the Comanches. Lundsberg under center, I formation set on 3rd down. It fakes the give, and here comes the pressure, but he gets the pass off, and it looks like that's going to be enough for a 1st down, as getting out of bounds at the 11-yard line is Dylan Howard, one of the tight ends on the team. Excellent play by Lundsberg there, who was under heavy pressure immediately by Cameron Galiciotto. But he comes up with the 10-yard pass and making the 11-yard pass, and Canyon is still in possession here, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. That is Howard's first reception of the night, and for the Comanches, they've had 6 different receivers catch a football from Lundsberg tonight. Shotgun formation here for the senior signal caller. Back to pass, looking right. Has Prochnow for a minimal gain there, making about 4 yards as he's pushed out of bounds by cornerback Chad Russum. And it'll be 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Ball spotted at the
Prochnow 3 receptions for 14 yards. Again, the receiver who has benefited the most from Lundsberg tonight has been Noah McClary. 7 receptions for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. And keep in mind, too, they're doing this without Kellen Rommelfanger, their top receiver, who went out with injury in the 2nd quarter and unfortunately has not returned. Lundsberg rolls out to his right, throws it, nobody there. And that's going to fall incomplete. A flag on the play at the 20-yard line. Not sure if that was miscommunication there or Lundsberg knew that that play wasn't going to work and threw it away, but either way, this penalty is going to go against Canyon. And our head referee is getting the signal from the far side judge. Actually, looks like they're trying to see if Tom Ricci wants to accept or decline this penalty. It's for an ineligible receiver. And the Vaqueros will accept the penalty to make it 2nd down and about 11 from the 11-yard line. 3.5 minutes remaining here in this 3rd quarter. So far, no scoring for either side. Canyon has a goal line stand, and they forced a punt defensively in this quarter. Their offense is looking to get things going here after a 3-and-out on the first possession. Here's a handoff here to Madrinich, and he gets up the right side to about the 15-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. Helping on the stop for the Vaqueros was Michael Saldivar and Adam Trad. And it'll be 3rd down and about 7 coming up. Madrinich at 87 yards unofficially on 11 carries. Again, he does have a touchdown tonight as well. Madrinich is in his senior year, also listed as a defensive back on the team, and he is to Lundsberg's right in the shotgun formation. A couple of tight ends on the right side of the line, 2 receivers to the left here for the senior signal caller as he heads back to pass. Pump fake, thought about going up the middle, now rolls out to his left, looking for space and bowls his way forward. It won't be enough for a 1st down. He gets to the line of scrimmage there, maybe gets a yard, and it'll come up to 4th down and 6, and Canyon will punt this one away.
Ball spotted at the 16-yard line.
So Canyon appeared like it was going to be able to start driving the ball downfield a little bit, but 1 penalty for an eligible receiver downfield backed him up and made it a 2nd and 11. And Canyon unable, to bounce back from that. And it'll be Gabriel Gleason to punt this one away. Couple of receivers back deep to receive for the Vaqueros. They're set up at the 45-yard line. Looks like Enzo Cahoon on the near side. And this punt is going in his direction, though it's going to land short. He picks it up anyway with some momentum. Pardon me, that's Fogarty who does so, and he's dragged out of bounds. And he'll be spotted at about the 33-yard line. So good field position once again here for Irvine, down by 5, with a chance to reclaim the lead here as Sina Safrazadi makes his way back out to lead this offense. And again, this offense has had one drive stall at the 1-yard line. Thanks to a goal line stand by Canyon, their second drive ended around midfield, with Safrazadi punting it away. Now he's in the shotgun formation with Hoffman to his left-hand side. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. It'll be Hoffman on the carry, up the middle, trying to find room. Does find some, about 4 yards. Gets to the 30, maybe the 29-yard line. And that'll be a 4-yard gain here for Hoffman as he inches ever closer to the century mark. Unofficially at 98 yards with that last carry, as it'll be 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6, ball to 29-yard line.
A lot of tough running tonight as well. Both of these running backs not afraid of contact and pushing the ball up the gut. Shotgun formation for Safrazadi once again. A receiver to the right and 2 to the left for the senior quarterback, as he'll be back to pass. Quick throw to the left. He's got his receiver, Cahoon, who slips through 1 tackle, 2, and gets beyond the 20-yard line to about the 19. That'll be enough for a 1st down, as it goes for about 10 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Comanche 19-yard line. That'll be Cahoon's 3rd reception. He's got 21 yards tonight. And with that pass, Safrazadi is at the century mark through the air tonight. That'll be his first completion here in 4 tries in the second half. Shotgun formation set as they work to get Cahoon to the near side. 3 receivers bunched up on the right-hand side. Hoffman in the deep setback. It'll be a handoff to Hoffman. Finds room left tackle up the middle and gets into the second level to about the 7-yard line. That'll be a 12-yard gain and another 1st down for the Vaqueros. And it'll be 1st and goal coming up. Hard running there by Hoffman, and a good job of sealing off the left side of that line by Kota Sashimo, Kevin Blanco, and Donovan Brannon. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter, however, and before we continue this drive, both sides will switch sides, as the Vaqueros will now travel from south to north. No scoring in that 3rd quarter as we remain at Canyon 21 and Irvine 16. Canyon trying to pick up its first Iota League victory here this season, and Irvine trying to change its fortunes, take the lead once again, and improve to 2-0 in the Iota League here tonight. It's been a good competitive ball game between these two. It was back and forth late in the first half, and so far it's been good defense here in this in this 3rd quarter. And Canyon will try to continue that as Irvine has them pinned deep in their own territory here to start the 4th. It'll be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line as Phil Hughes is talking to his defense here before they take the field once again. Canyon's already got 1 goal line stand tonight here in this second half. Can they get another? The Comanches head all the way out to the north side of the field. Safrazadi and the Irvine offense huddle up on the far sideline. There's James Monroe, the last one to get there. He was crucial in the Comanches goal line stand in the 3rd quarter. Let's see what he can do in terms of bringing down the ball carrier here. Empty set here for Safrazadi. Nobody in the backfield with him. 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and the man in motion is Hoffman. Safrazadi keeps it, tries the left side. Canyon gets to him quickly. This time it's Landon Wade who brings him down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 7. Boy, this Canyon defense, when they get pinned, at least tonight when they're getting pinned deep in their own territory, they are swarming to the ball carrier and finding ways to bring them down. Talked about bend, don't break. Canyon's trying to do that for a second time here in the second half. Safrazadi and company trying to find a way to punch this in from 7 yards out. Here comes the senior quarterback once again, leads the team to the line. I formation set with the fullback offset to the far side. They fake the give to Hoffman. Safrazadi looking for a receiver. He's got a man wide open, and making the catch in the center of the end zone is the tight end, Cole Riddell. And Irvine reclaims the lead. It's 22-21 with the extra point coming up. That pass from Safrazadi almost ended up a little bit short. And you wonder if maybe Hughes was wondering if that one might have bounced before it got there, but the score will count. And we'll see what the Vaqueros decide to do here with the extra point try. So that's a 7-yard pass from Safrazadi to Riddell. And Riddell's got the touchdown reception. And a false start penalty will move this ball back to about the 7 or 8 yard line once again. So Irvine has a 1-point lead. If they decide to go for 2, they'll try for a 3-point lead. In their previous 2 touchdowns, they've been successful on their 2-point tries. And this appears like it will be a 2-point try with Safrazadi in the shotgun formation. Rolling out to his right, looking for a receiver, doesn't find one. Now moves back towards his left, jump throw here, and that one is intercepted by Canyon at the 4-yard line. That was number 9, Dylan Howard, with the interception. The 2-point try is no good, and Irvine will settle for a 1-point lead with 11:03 remaining in the ball game. Canyon will get the ball back in just a moment, facing a deficit for the second time here tonight, as they are down by 1. This is high school football presented by the Orange Unified School District. You're watching it live through the Orange Unified School District's YouTube page. A pleasure to have you alongside us. And for all of us here, we'd like to thank you for taking some of your Thursday evening to hang out with us here tonight. For all you Comanche alumni who are watching, welcome home, back to Fred Kelly Stadium on a beautiful Thursday evening. Another comfortable night for football here for both of these teams, as we were in the upper 60s in this second half. It's been a good back and forth battle between these two. The Irvine touchdown, the first score of the second half. Dylan Wynn has it set up at the 40-yard line as Isaac Shim and Noah McClary are deep to receive for the Comanches. It'll be Shim on the far side, McClary on the near side. Another pooch kick here for Wynn. That'll be caught at about the 30-yard line, taking it up to about the 35. Believe that was Ski Hitchens, the sophomore, who brings it up about 5 yards. And the Comanches will start at 1st and 10 from just inside the 35-yard line. Make it the 33, the spot of the ball for Canyon. See what Alex Lunsberg and company can do here. This will be the first drive where Canyon does not start from their own 1-yard line. In this second half, I should say. Third drive overall of the half for Canyon, as Lunsberg will start in the shotgun formation with Madrinich to his left. Back to pass, the senior quarterback looks to the left and looking deep, overthrows his target. That's McClary, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. There have been times tonight where both of these quarterbacks have just been a little bit off with the throws. That one looked well high for McClary as Lunsberg put some zip on it, and he is heading back out for this 2nd down and 10 play. Matthew Horton, the receiver split wide to the right, has been on the field quite a bit more since Rommelfanger went out with injury. I formation set here. Madrinic, the carry, up the middle, gets up beyond the 35-yard line and is stopped at about the 37. Good run on second down will make it third down and a more manageable 6. As it looked like Mason Preuss may have been in there on the stop for the Vaqueros.
3rd and 6, ball spotted at the 37-yard line.
And Landon Wade will head off the field here as Lundsberg heads back out. Comanches looking for a first down here. I believe they've got 1 first down offensively in this half so far. 3rd and 6, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right with a tight end. Nearly got Irvine to jump into the neutral zone there, but Riddell stayed beyond it. Back to pass, and a zip here from Lundsberg is batted down. That's Mason Preuss once again deflecting the pass and forcing it to fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 as Canyon will have to punt this one away. Lundsberg so far in this half is 2 for 6 through the air for 15 yards. And the Comanches will need another defensive stop here in order to stay within striking distance. A touchdown by Irvine would still keep Canyon in striking distance so long as the Vaqueros don't convert another 2-point conversion. But again, this puts a little bit more pressure on that defensive unit of the Comanches as Gleason is back to punt this one away. Couple of receivers back deep for the Vaqueros. Here's the kick, end over end. This will be Cahoon calling for a fair catch. He makes it just inside the 30-yard line. And that is where the Vaqueros will take over 1st and 10 from the 30. Do see a penalty flag at the 40-yard line of the Comanches. It'll be a hold against the Vaqueros, so this will bump them back another 10 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Irvine in just a moment. 9:49 remaining in the ball game here tonight in what has been a competitive affair between the Canyon Comanches and the Irvine Vaqueros. A 1-point ball game favoring Irvine. And this game could still go either way, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay with us until the end as Canyon celebrates homecoming night tonight. And these Comanches looking to give this crowd a reason to celebrate here this evening. And again, as we've mentioned, it's the final homecoming for Canyon as the Comanches. In July 2026, they will transition from the Canyon Comanches to the Canyon Cobras. Due to state law, had to make a name change, and after putting it to a vote with the Canyon High School community, the Cobra was chosen as the new mascot moving forward starting in July 2026. Safrazadi hands it off to Hoffman here on 1st down. Gets a couple of yards as he pushes his way forward up the middle, up to about the 22-yard line, make it the 23. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Seamus Hoffman unofficially 14 carries for 113 yards. No touchdowns to this point. He was tackled by Monroe on that play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. I have to think for Irvine at this point, it's a combination of wanting to score and taking some time off the clock. Safrazadi, however, will be in the backfield by himself. 4 receivers to the right and 1 to the left with Hoffman in motion on this 2nd down play. Hand off to Hoffman, a reverse here to Cahoon, who gives it back to Safrazadi. Up the middle, he's got a man wide open to the left-hand side, and it's caught at the 45 and down to the 35 before he was taken out of bounds. That's Kyle Fogarty with the catch on the trick play there by the Vaqueros, and that puts them deep into Canyon territory. 1st and 10 coming up from the 35-yard line. So that went from the Irvine 23 to the Canyon 35. And that's a 42-yard play with a penalty flag coming in late at the Canyon 45-yard line. And it looks like they're pointing in the direction of the Comanches, at least to start. longest or second longest pass play of the night for the Vaqueros tonight. And for Fogarty, that's his first reception of the night as they free him up on the double reverse. There's the Canyon High School band there, keeping the fans entertained while these referees continue to sort out this flag, which again is resting at the 45-yard line. There's Hunter Lake, one of the defensive backs, getting a little coaching towards the sideline while we wait. This flag is going to go against Irvine. And it looks like this play
That is going to be our call. We'll wait for the official call.
is going to come all the way back here. They're going to mark it from the 30, it appears. And they're going to place it at the 20-yard line. So that long play goes for naught for the Vaqueros. And they are all the way back at the 20-yard line. It was an illegal man downfield call. And that's unfortunate for the Vaqueros, who put together one of their deepest plays of the night. 2nd down and 10 as they're back right where they started this drive at the 20-yard line. Here come the skill players, including quarterback Sina Safrazadi. You'll have Cole Riddell in at tight end. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Looks like Hoffman, the deep setback here in the single back formation. They fake the give to him. Here's a screen, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Fogarty. Excuse me. And Fogarty unable to make the catch as Safrazadi's throw was just a little bit short, and 3rd down and 10 coming up. Safrazadi to this point, 107 yards through the air with a touchdown pass. And about half of those, in fact, over half of those yards coming on that touchdown pass to Smith Spivey. That was all the way back in the 1st quarter. He's in the shotgun formation here with Hoffman to his left. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left for the Vaqueros. In motion is Fogarty. Back to pass, looking left, now up the middle, has a man deep, and that's Spivey. One-on-one. Oh, he made the catch, it looked like, and held on to it as he came down to the turf. And he was working one-on-one with Gavin Marcoli for the Comanches, and that takes it from the 20-yard line to the Comanches 47. That's a 33-yard gain on 3rd down and 10 for Irvine. And they do end up getting the big play anyway, as Safrazadi and Spivey hook up for the 2nd time tonight. What a great play there by Spivey, who had Marcoli behind him trying to punch that ball away, but Spivey hangs on to it as he falls on his back at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, shotgun formation. Irvine now in Comanche territory. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Hoffman shifts from the left to the right side of his quarterback. It'll be a keeper up the middle as Safrazadi shifts his way to the left and up the middle and finds plenty of room there to work with as he slips his way beyond the 35-yard line to the 33. That's a 14-yard gain for the Vaqueros on 1st down. And for Safrazadi, his longest run of the night by a yard. So Irvine starting to find offensive momentum. They're having a bit more success in driving the ball downfield in this 2nd half. And doing so with a good mix of ground and aerial attack. Shotgun formation for Safrazadi. 2 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. In motion is Kyle Fogarty. They fake the give to him. Safrazadi again on the move. Left tackle. Bounces off a couple of tacklers up to the 25-yard line before he's spun around and brought down at the 26. They'll mark him at the 25.
8-yard gain.
That'll be a gain of 8 on first down. Looks like they're going to spot him a little bit further back at maybe the 27-yard line, make it the 26. So 7 yards on the ground for Safrazadi. And it'll be a 2nd down and 3 coming up. Just outside the red zone are the Vaqueros, as the ball's at the 26-yard line. Spivey will split wide to the right as you see him running across your screen towards the bottom. It'll be a single back, making an I formation set here for the Vaqueros with with one receiver on either side. And Hoffman the deep setback. Safrazadi under center, and he will hand it off to Hoffman. Hoffman full head of steam up the middle, gets to the 20-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down and a 5-yard gain. Irvine, more importantly, is taking time off this clock. They've already elapsed about 4 minutes on this drive, down to 5:14 and counting remaining in the ball game. As Phil Hughes, you can read his lips a little bit there, telling his defense to try to rip the ball out. See if Irvine decides to keep it on the ground here, as the combination of Safrazadi and Seamus Hoffman is moving the ball forward. 2 receivers, making 3 to the right, 1 to the left here in the shotgun formation for Safrazadi, with Hoffman to his left. Good snap. They fake the give to Hoffman. Safrazadi's going to try it left side, slips through the tackle attempt there of Brockman, and continues his way forward beyond the 10-yard line up to about the 7. That'll be a gain of 13 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal from about the 7-yard line. That was, Troy Branham, who had the near tackle at about the line of scrimmage. But Safrazadi was able to slip through and find his way forward for another 13 yards. So now Canyon once again is backed up into its own end zone, or near its own end zone, I should say, at the 7-yard line. Irvine has spent a decent amount of time offensively in the red zone here for the Comanches tonight. It's been a mixed bag of results. And they're 1 for 2 so far in the red zone. Here's a handoff to Hoffman, who full steam ahead gets into the end zone off left tackle for the touchdown. And the Vaqueros stretch the lead here. It's 28-21 with the extra point upcoming. And we'll see if Irvine decides to try to go for a 2-point conversion to put this, or try to put this game, I should say, out of reach by 9. Hoffman, his first touchdown of the night. It's a 7-yard rush, giving him 125 yards unofficially on the evening. But a workmanlike drive for Irvine, going 80 yards and taking more than 5 minutes off the clock in this 4th quarter on that drive. It will be a kick attempt here by Wynn, a line drive kick, and it's good. Just barely over the crossbar on the left-hand side, but it works, and it'll be an 8-point lead as Dylan Wynn looks a little bit shaken up after that kick, as he is trotting gingerly back towards the 40-yard line for this next kickoff. Wonder if maybe he's dealing with some discomfort there, and that's why that kick was a bit low. But with 3:51 remaining, it's a 29-21 lead for Irvine, as the Vaqueros have scored 13 points in this half to take a 21-16 deficit and turn it into a 29-21 lead. Canyon will have a little less than 4 minutes to try to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to knot things up before the end of this 4th quarter. Wynn will kick this one away. Back deep to receive are Isaac Shim and Noah McClary. And this will likely be another short kick. It will be. And this will be Shim who will be tasked with trying to pick it up, and he will, just barely before he gets blasted on the far sideline inside the 20-yard line. And Canyon will have to drive close to 85 yards if they want to try to tie up the score here, as they'll start from the 16, make it the 17-yard line. Again, this Canyon offense is suited for situations like this because they can throw the ball so well. If they can get the ball downfield quickly with a deep pass or two, they'll be just fine. But Lundsberg so far tonight has been a bit off the mark in this second half with some of his receivers. And keep in mind, he is without his top target, Kellen Rommelfanger, who went out with injury in the second quarter. In motion is Matthew Horton from right to left, and he will get the pass. But this one, if it was caught, Horton didn't have a chance to do anything with it as he falls just outside the 15-yard line. That is ruled a complete pass for a 1-yard loss, and it'll bring up a second down and 11.
That was Noah McClary with the reception. Brings up second and 11. Ball at the 16-yard line.
Again, that was Horton with the catch, his third of the night, with 11 yards on those 3 catches. Shotgun formation here for Lundsberg. Back to pass looking right. He's got a man open. It's Prochnow who makes a leaping catch and then runs into a few defenders but stays on his feet beyond the 25-yard line and up to the 28. And that'll be enough for a first down as Prochnow muscled his way forward for a gain of about 13 as they spotted at the 29. That was all Prochnow after the catch to get the first down. And a new quarterback in the ballgame here for the Comanches. He looks for Prochnow, and it's overthrown. Prochnow was open, but it slips through his hands on that leaping try. It'll bring up a second down and 10. That was Brandon Tristan who came in to play quarterback for that play. And it looks like he's going to stay out there, and we'll check and see where Lundsberg might be on the sideline. Lundsberg missed a little bit of time last week with the nagging issue. Phil Hughes, the head coach, said he was okay to go tonight, but perhaps maybe something flaring up there for Lundsberg, who is on the sideline, tossing a football up and down. Tristan under center, the junior quarterback, back to pass. Has his man, it's McClary on the slant. McClary pushes his way forward for the first down to the 40-yard line. And that's another gain of 11 as the Comanches keep the drive going.
Gain of 11 yards.
So how about Brandon Tristan coming in and filling in at quarterback? Let's see, this looks to be Lundsberg back in the ball game. A throw to the right, it's Prochnow, and he will step out of bounds after a gain of about 5. Up to about the 46-yard line as Canyon approaches midfield.
He's able to get out of bounds and preserve precious time.
So McClary with the 11-yard gain. I believe it was Prochnow on the last catch for 5. And they say he did not get out of bounds. The clock is continuing to run. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds in counting as Canyon all of a sudden rushes to the line. Horton a little confused, now heads over to the near side. Shotgun formation here as Lundsberg back to pass, looking left, scrambles out to his left against his body, and looking for a receiver, makes a throw as he is hit by Cole Riddell, and the pass falls well short of any Comanche receiver, incomplete, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Third down and 4, ball at 46.
This will definitely be 4-down territory here for Canyon, down by 8 with 1:53 remaining. And Lundsberg awaits the call here from the coaching staff as he will head back out there. Irvine ready to go defensively as Canyon comes up to the line. Shotgun formation with Madrinich to Lundsberg's right. 2 receivers on either side. Lundsberg back to pass, pump fake, now throws to the right, has McClary. And he gets out of bounds, enough for a first down. It's about a 6-yard gain into Irvine territory. And McClary able to avoid a tackle in order to keep himself on his feet to get out of bounds.
6-yard gain. Got a minute 50 left in the game.
That stops the clock at 1:50. Remember, Canyon had a drive late in the first half that they were able to convert into a touchdown. They're going to need to do the same here if they want to stay in the ball game and perhaps force overtime. Shotgun formation, Lundsberg back to pass. Looking left, looking deep to Prochnow and overthrown. As that one falls incomplete. A flag comes in late, however. And we'll see if this one goes against Irvine, as Prochnow was working one-on-one, I believe with Spivey, but that might have been Russum who was on the coverage. And we'll see what the flag is going to be here. It's a pass interference call against Irvine. That'll be a big help here for the Comanches as this ball moves up to the 33-yard line. So that's a big 15-yard penalty there on the part of the Vaqueros. And now Lundsberg and company will have it at the 33. Still 1:45 remaining in the ball game. Canyon down by 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to stay in the ball game. Single back formation here with Madrinich, the deep setback. And a flag comes in, and it looks like this one might be going against the Comanches here. Or did the referee pick that one up? Oh, it's a sideline warning, my mistake. Irvine called for a sideline warning, so no movement of the football. But Irvine, if they get flagged because of the sideline again, I believe that'll cost them 5 yards. So 1st and 10, ball at the 33-yard line of Irvine. Canyon and Lundsberg under center. Horton in motion from right to left. And Lundsberg looking to his left, throws the short one to McClary, who has some space up the left sideline and gets up near the 25-yard line. They'll spot him at about the 26. And it looks like they're going to stop the clock here, make it the 27. That'll be a 6-yard gain. And a 2nd down and 4 coming up here for the Comanches. McClary with his 10th catch of the game. And my unofficial count has 71 yards. Shotgun formation, Lundsberg pump fake, throws to the left, has McClary, but again overthrown. There were 2 defenders in the area. Once again, it was Russum and Spivey who were providing the coverage on McClary. And it becomes a 3rd down and 4 here for the Comanches. Big play coming up here for Lundsberg. The Comanches would like to stay out of a 4th down situation if they can. Prochnow will split wide to the right. Horton will be the slot receiver on the right, McClary to the left. Shotgun formation here for Lundsberg. Back to pass. Looking to the right, now back to the left. Has his running back, Madrinich. Madrinich slips through a tackle and gets out of bounds beyond the 20-yard line. And that's a big time move there from the running back, who gets 1st down yardage, stops the clock, and keeps the drive alive at the 20-yard line. A 7-yard gain from Lundsberg to Madrinich, who collects his 1st reception of the night. And the Comanches are marching down the field. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lundsberg back to pass, looking for McClary, and again overthrown. Same 2 defenders over there as well, as Spivey, the safety, provides help to the cornerback Chad Russum. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 as that ball falls incomplete. Again, Lundsberg has thrown the ball quite a bit tonight, as per usual. He has 153 passing yards this evening and 2 touchdowns, both to Noah McClary, who is on the near side once again. 2 receivers to the right, Madrinich to the left of his quarterback. This time the pass goes to the right. Looked like it might have been tipped there before it got to Prochnow. And it falls off the fingertips of Dylan Prochnow, incomplete, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Not sure if that ball was tipped or maybe it was just a low throw. It looked like it might have changed spin a little bit there on the way to the wide receiver. Either way, Lundsberg will head back out facing a 3rd and 10. They converted on their last 3rd down attempt. See if they can do it again here. Irvine ready to go defensively as Lundsberg's in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and a timeout is called And it looks like it was called on the side of the Comanches. So Canyon wants to talk this over before they get that 3rd and 10 play from the 20-yard line. 1:21 remaining in this fourth quarter. Canyon down by 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to stay alive in this football game and possibly force an overtime period here against Irvine. Game 2 in the Iota League for both of these teams as Phil Hughes is trying to pump up his offense before this big 3rd down play. Canyon has done well to drive all the way down to the 20-yard line. They've gotten help in the form of a 15-yard pass interference call against Irvine, but they've also made some plays on some key situations as well. A couple 3rd down conversions here on this drive. And they're going to need another one if they want to keep this going. Alex Lunsberg walking the offense back out there. What does this offense have cooked up here for 3rd and 10? At the Irvine 20-yard line. Shotgun formation set. Lunsberg, clean snap, rolls out to his right, now back to his left. It's Prochnow with plenty of space. Can he get to the first? Yes, he can. Still on his feet beyond the 5 and dives forward to about the 1-yard line. There is a penalty flag at the 16-yard line, and it's going to go against Canyon. And this is going to come back. It's a blindside block, and that negates what was a great play design there for the Comanches and will put them in a very tough spot here at 3rd and long. Prochnow had a 19-yard gain. And Lunsberg had fooled everybody by rolling out to the right and then throwing it back to the left side. But it goes for naught here as now the Comanches need 20 yards in 2 plays to keep this drive alive. Again, Lunsberg has the arm to get it to the end zone from here. And we'll see what they decide to do here. Irvine's defense has been stingy for the most part tonight. You see Enzo Cahoon and Smith Spivey, pardon me, the 2 safeties getting set up for this next play. Under center is Lunsberg. 2 receivers to the right. In motion is McClary. They fake the give to Madrinich. Looking left, now looking to McClary on the sideline. They get a minimal gain there, and he's pushed out of bounds by Cole Riddell. 3 yards on that pass, and it's going to be 4th down and 17 coming up here for Canyon. Play of the game coming up here. Canyon needs at least the 10-yard line to keep this game alive. 34 seconds remaining. 17 yards. And a timeout will be called here by the Comanches. Last time they called a timeout and came out with a screen play to Prochnow. After fooling the defense thinking they were going right, Prochnow had wide open space and pushed his way forward to the 1-yard line, but a blindside block brought the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line, negating a 19-yard play and making it a 2nd down and 20. Make it 3rd down and 20, my mistake. And now Canyon needs 17 yards. 29-21 the score. Irvine with the lead. They've scored 13 points unanswered here in this second half. Canyon had the halftime lead, 21-16. Canyon had a drive as Hartfelder looks like he's going to come on here for a field goal. This will be a 45-yard field goal try. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It's got the distance, it appears, but it's wide to the left, and it is no good. And a flag comes in at the end of that play.
The 44-yard field goal attempt is no good.
As it looks like Hartfelder is down on the ground. And this one's going to go against Irvine for unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe, but they're signaling first down for the Vaqueros as it's a 15-yard penalty, and it wouldn't get the yardage that Canyon would need for the first down, as they tend to Hartfelder on the field. But Canyon, unfortunately, comes away with no points here on this drive, and with 30 seconds remaining, Irvine will likely be able to take out the rest of the clock, and Canyon only has one timeout left. Again, Canyon need the 10-yard line. The penalty took the ball down to the 13. But the bigger issue now is Hartfelder and his health on the field. Again, we had heard that he wasn't quite 100% coming into the ball game. It's at least a second-year starter at the kicker position is Hartfelder. And so we came in thinking that Carson Gust was going to be doing the kicking duties here for Canyon. Hartfelder tried a 45-yard attempt, but it ended up wide left. And now the Vaqueros will wait a bit here before taking down this last 30 seconds. It was a running into the kicker call. And it was an unsportsmanlike conduct because of that. But again, because the Comanches needed 17 yards, they only got 15 yards on that penalty, and it's still a turnover on downs. Safrazadi in the victory formation. He will just kneel this one down. And Canyon will not take the timeout here. And that should do it here as the Vaqueros score 13 unanswered points in the second half. Unfortunately for the Comanches, they had a great end to that first half. Offensively, just could not get it going here in the second half against Irvine tonight. And the Vaqueros will improve to 6-1 overall and 2-0 in Iota League play for the Comanches. They fall tonight to 2-5 overall and 0-2 in Iota League play. These two teams will be in action again next week. But again, a heartbreaker here for Canyon on a homecoming night. The last as the Comanches, as they will transition to becoming the Canyon Cobras next year. But again, another great game for this team. Unfortunately, it just didn't pan out in the second half for the Comanches as they fall short by 8 here tonight. The final score, Irvine 29 and Canyon 21. The Comanches, again, fall to 2-5 overall this season. The Vaqueros are now 6-1 on the year as they move forward into Iota League play again next week. That'll wrap it up just about for us here tonight. We want to make sure that you stick around tomorrow. Come back again at 6:45 with a kickoff at 7 p.m. as El Medina will celebrate homecoming night as they take on the Western High School Pioneers in a Delta League game. Should be a good one here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We hope you'll join us for that one as well. Homecoming night for the Vanguards as they take on Western High School tomorrow night, 7 p.m. kickoff. And we'll start the broadcast on Orange Unified School District's YouTube page at 6:45. Canyon with the alma mater playing near the, the team standing near the 40-yard line. And again, a great effort here by the Comanches. Unfortunately, just not enough here tonight to get the victory over Irvine. Another great first half for the Comanches. The second half was a little bit of a struggle from the offensive standpoint, but head coach Phil Hughes should be happy with the way his defense played, especially in getting those stops to give the offense the chance to get the victory here tonight. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite connect this evening. And the Comanches will head into next week against Troy High School, hoping for their first Iota League victory in 2025. That'll do it for us here tonight. For our entire crew here with the Orange Unified School District, my name is Nathan Percy, saying thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday evening. We hope you enjoyed the homecoming festivities at halftime, and we hope you enjoyed the homecoming game here at Fred Kelly Stadium. Again, the final score, Irvine 29 and Canyon 21. We'll see you again tomorrow night as El Medina takes on Western High School in a Delta League game as El Medina celebrates homecoming night. Until then, we say so long and good night from Fred Kelly Stadium. This has been a production of high school football and homecoming for the Canyon Comanches on Orange Unified School District's YouTube page. And again, our thanks to you for tuning in and joining us this evening. Good night and so long from Fred Kelly Stadium.